The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
You know what? Let's just get the sponsorship out of the way. It is a football Friday. I'm not depressed by the sponsorship. I love our friends at Norristown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, driving to great deals at the winter sales event, Norristown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and get freaking good deals all month long at a Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Visit NorristownChryslerDodge.com. I love saying that because I appreciate Norristown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, but I don't appreciate that Football Friday doesn't exist in Philadelphia anymore.
How about I'm making, and I mean this, I'm making no appointment to watch football this weekend. I will watch parts of every game, but I'm absolutely making no appointment to be down in front of my TV to say I've got to be there for kickoff to watch.
I think the best thing for me tomorrow, not tomorrow night, because I will watch the Rams-Bears game. I'm intrigued. But
Rams-Bears is Sunday.
Sorry, Sunday. But tomorrow afternoon, the afternoon game, I have a 3-year-old birthday party to go to.
Okay.
So that at least will eat up majority of that game, and I won't have to sit there and think, oh, man, could this have been the Eagles' time slot if they were playing?
Early, I got 4:30 Mass.
Yeah, all right, so that's good.
So if Father Riley decides to impart a little extra wisdom, I don't really care for, I'll find out what Broncos Bills do there, and then I'm taking Christina to dinner.
Yeah,
made a dinner reservation.
Schedule your life to not watch football.
I am just
this
it's
weekend.
like, let's have a divestiture of my anguish of this team not playing.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed.
Sorry, tomorrow night's game is Niners-Seahawks.
Yeah, now that I will see more of.
Yeah.
I'll see more of the night game.
Well, and the Niners are the team that beat the Eagles.
Yeah, they are.
All right, so other than being depressed about the state of the Philadelphia Eagles not playing football, there is a lot to get into today because there was a big press conference yesterday, the unfortunate end-of-the-year press conference that happened way too soon with both Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman. We obviously know the storylines of the week. The week has been you lose Sunday, Monday was reaction day, Tuesday was the firing of Kevin Patullo as offensive coordinator, still on the Eagles staff as of this moment, but fired as the offensive coordinator. Wednesday, we start getting the reports that they're going to be looking for top candidates. Wednesday night, we got the report that the candidates were sort of demanding complete autonomy when it came to being the offensive coordinator. It's my offense. It's not Nick Sirianni's offense.
The top names wanted to know reportedly before even agreeing to interview.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them.
No, I neither do I.
There are 8 head coaching openings or whatever it is, and all these OC openings, I would want to know too.
Right.
Look, I got my pick of the litter. If you're a Kevin Stefanski, you're interviewing for head coaching jobs, and you know that any team that you don't get head coaching job will take you as their OC.
Absolutely.
So you want to know, I'm not even talking to you unless I know I've got total control.
Right. That's been the reporting, and I respect it, and I appreciate it, and I want it. And then, of course, yesterday was the press conference. So you'll hear from Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman over the course of the show. But what I want to start off with before we play our first clip, because it all will tie into it eventually, we've had 2 shows this week where we took logic out of the conversation. And I know that's very hard for John. I'm proud of you.
That's impossible.
I'm proud of you, John.
Yeah, it's impossible.
You actually survived. You made it through the week, and I'm very proud of you.
I made it through. I did.
We did. If you could take logic out of the conversation with Nick Sirianni, would you move on from him as the head coach, right? Taking logic out of it is why we had the conversation, because logically you can't, right? You're not going to. The guy's one of the most successful head coaches ever in a 5-year start to an NFL career. You can have whatever opinion you have on him about offense, because I have them.
I do.
But logic, you would not remove Nick Sirianni. Logic tells you would not remove Jalen Hurts. When we took logic out of the conversation, I would have removed Nick Sirianni from the team. I would not have removed Jalen Hurts because I saw that guy ball out in a Super Bowl 11 months ago. I don't have to go all that far back to talk about Jalen Hurts winning the Super Bowl MVP. I get it. It was a whole season ago, but it was 11 months ago, right? It wasn't, 4 scores and 7 years ago. It wasn't that long ago that Jalen Hurts was balling out in a Super Bowl, and he's now done that twice.
There's no such thing as 4 scores with the Eagles offense.
No, that doesn't happen. There's no such thing as 4 first downs with the Eagles offense.
There would be no Gettysburg Address with the Philadelphia Eagles. Not this year.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it's very good.
So it leads to today's topic. There has been a lot of talk about the quote-unquote perfect situation, right? We played audio from Colin Cowherd.
Yep.
back in November, maybe? It was during the slide. Back November, early December, where he talks about both Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni need the perfect situation, right? Nick needs the perfect coordinators around him. Jalen needs the perfect OC. He needs the talent. There is a lot of question. What if Jalen did not play for the Philadelphia Eagles? Would he be as successful as a quarterback in the NFL? I know people get uncomfortable with that question, especially the really big Jalen Hurts fans that think he's one of the best. Look, I think if Jalen goes to San Francisco, he's successful, right, with Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, I think so, too.
But if he goes to Cleveland, I don't think he's successful. I don't think a lot of guys are successful in Cleveland, but I don't think Hurts, as I've said thousands of times, is a guy that can put the team on his back for multiple weeks. For a game, yes. And I've seen it in the Super Bowl. I saw it in the biggest games of his life. But through a course of the season, I don't think I can say Jalen Hurts is the reason why they got to this mark. The reason why you had the number 2 seed last year and got to the Super Bowl was because of Saquon Barkley in the offensive line. That's what got you there. So our question at 610-632-0975, we'll ask it first and we'll discuss, who benefits from the quote-unquote perfect situation more? Is it the head coach of this football team, or is it the quarterback of this football team? I have an immediate answer, but I'm curious where you are first.
My answer is immediate. Now, the thing is, though, before I hear it, too, with Connor, is your answer immediate in your head?
Yeah, pretty easy to me.
Then we have to be unanimous,
right.
Correct?
One.
Not always on this show.
On three.
On three.
1, 2, 3.
Coach.
Nick. Yep. All right. We all agree.
We all are
Nick Sirianni benefits from it more.
We are 100% in agreement. And it has to be him, right? It's got to be him.
I've seen him literally crumble when he did not have the right coordinates.
Yes, and so much is attached to Jalen Hurts needs to have the perfect situation. I say bull. Nick Sirianni is the one who is needed to have the perfect situation.
Yes.
Because he has to have the perfect people propping him up.
Yes.
So Jalen Hurts, by the way, has been a winner everywhere he's been. Long before he knew Nick Sirianni's name.
Right. So, like, this is why going back to Tuesday,
I think it's a
John,
smear campaign.
When we had the topic Tuesday, I would have, taking logic out of it, plucked Nick Sirianni away and put somebody else in as head coach. Because this is going to sound totally unfair because I do respect the fact that he's won. But, like, again, there is a question of on game day, what is it that you do? I'm not naive. I know that there's a Monday through Saturday as well. It's not just Sundays. It's not just game days.
Okay.
But nobody, I mean nobody, gives Nick Sirianni the credit for the defense, right?
And
nobody.
And they shouldn't.
It's the Vic Fangio defense and the defense that was built through the draft with Howie Roseman and Vic Fangio calling the shots. I don't even think Nick Sirianni was drafting players. I don't know. Maybe it's unfair for me to assume but I feel comfortable assuming it. On the offensive side of things, we've seen the Eagles have 2 tremendous seasons, one in which they got to the Super Bowl and lost, one in which they got to the Super Bowl and won. The first Super Bowl, Nick Sirianni had to pull himself away from calling plays, and the offensive coordinator that took over play-calling duties was the offensive coordinator of that Super Bowl.
That is
correct. And then after they had the collapse, the historic collapse in 2023, it was historic. ESPN Stats and Information tells you it was historic. They had to remove the offensive coordinator that was hired from within. They brought in an outside hire, a guy that was very well respected in league circles, a guy that is now a head coach in the NFL. That guy was the OC. Say what you want about how it looked and whether it was his offense or not. He was calling plays, and he was calling, he had the art of play calling. He knew what to call 2-3 plays from then. That's the year they win the Super Bowl. And now another inside hire, another Nick Sirianni guy, another roller coaster season.
No, poor decision.
Poor decision. He couldn't fix it.
360 days on my little countdown clock. 360 days. You know what that is? That's the amount of days till the end of next season when the 18th week is over, when the 17th game is played. After everything I've heard, everything I've seen go down, and by the way, totally in support of Nick Sirianni coming back this year.
Yes, me too.
Completely.
Me too.
360 days.
He's got to prove that he's still the head coach of the football team.
Clock's ticking. The watch is on. Clock's ticking. This would be, to me, the year where I say, prove it or not. And if it is not a great year, and I mean great year, I am absolutely moving on. It has to be great. He has been given too many chances to have other people come in and prop him up. And all the things that we're going to hear today, all the stuff that's going to be broken down and we're going to be talking about,
Oh, yeah.
tells me one more year. A chance to once again see if can he get the car back on the road, but he's going to be asked to do less than he's ever been asked to do as the head coach of the Eagles.
And by the way, I'm completely comfortable with that. Like, I don't.
I'm not. This is where we're going to differ today. And this is where we're going to differ today. I'm not.
Why?
Because when I hire a CEO, I want to know that my CEO is a mastermind. I want to know that my CEO is somebody who is a chess player. I want to know that my guy is thinking a move ahead. Look, it's great that Nick Sirianni is great in interpersonal relationships, and from everything I've been told, he is.
Yeah.
From everything I've observed, he is. But I need more. And everything I've heard, and now you're going to make an offensive coordinator hire that is going to be the brethren to Vic Fangio, where Nick's not going to be in control. Andrew, I'm done. As far as it's got to be a great year. If it's not a great year, then someone else needs to be the CEO of this football team.
Okay. Oh, no, I agree with you. It's got to be a great year.
No, it's got to be
especially when everything is being handed to
No, but it's got to
man.
be a great year, or they need a new CEO because he's not being asked to do enough. I went through yesterday afternoon, and we'll talk about it during the show today. There's not a head coach in the NFL that's asked to do less.
And he's been asked to do less.
He's the Super Bowl champion
3 different
for another
times,
week.
and they've been successful too.
There is going to be, next year, starting the year, there will not be a head coach in the NFL who has less control of their team than he does on game day. And they're the Philadelphia Eagles.
It's amazing, isn't it?
That tells me all I need to know.
Joe C. on our YouTube chat, I'm a Sirianni guy, but he's got to go with a lots of O's. I'm not saying he's got to go.
No. I want him to have another year because I think he deserves the opportunity. But it better be a great year, and I mean great.
Sure.
I don't mean another you're putzing around 3-3 in the worst NFC East that we've seen in the longest time. And you go 3-3.
And by the way, that NFC East will probably get better.
It's going to get better.
If the Cowboys improve their defense,
Harbaugh's in. It's better.
If Jaden Daniels stays healthy and they get younger, which we've been talking about that for 2 years now,
that might set them back minorly,
maybe.
Though.
And then the Giants, as you mentioned, with Harbaugh now the head coach of the New York Giants, and they built something or are starting to build something with Jackson Dart. So who benefits more from the quote-unquote perfect situation? There is no perfect situation, but damn, do the Eagles have a good one, right? The Eagles have
they have a great one.
With owner Jeffrey Lurie willing to pay out-of-pocket money up front, right, which then allows Howie Roseman to manipulate the cap. So that's one step below Jeffrey Lurie. With Vic Fangio as your defensive coordinator and all the talent that you have on defense, all the talent that you have on offense, the willingness to spend money from ownership on down, the smart scouting department that they clearly have when it comes to drafting. There's a reason why the Eagles have been contenders in the last 5 seasons, right? There's a reason why. Who benefits more from it? Nick Sirianni is the head coach or Jalen Hurts is the quarterback? Because there are a lot of people that think Jalen Hurts is carried by the rest of the team. 610-632-0975.
And if anyone says that Jalen Hurts is carried, I would like them to explain to me what Nick Sirianni is.
Yeah,
because Nick Sirianni is being dragged around like the Pharaoh. Like, you know, the guys, you got the Egyptians.
Yes.
On each corner, carrying them, and somebody's feeding them grapes. And you got guys at 4 posters carrying him around, making sure. And then, you got somebody with the fan, too. They're fanning him because he's asked to do nothing. He literally will do less on opening day than any coach in the NFL next year.
But he tells you he works really hard.
Oh, I'm glad.
So yesterday was the press conference with both Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman. And obviously one of the first things that was asked was, why did they remove Kevin Patullo as the offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles? We all know why, because it was a disaster and it was bad from the beginning. But this was Nick Sirianni, not pen to paper with a statement, but with his own words.
I think it's important that we continue to evolve as an offense and that we go out and do what's best for this football team. And again, everything that I do and every decision I have to make, I have to do that with what's in mind, with just like Howie does, just like Mr. Lurie does, with the intent of being the best thing for the football team. And at this particular point, I love Kevin and everything that he has provided to this coaching staff for his 5 years here. Big reason why we've won a lot of football games. But at this particular point, I just felt like that's what I needed to do to be the best thing for the football team.
Yeah, very, very normal answer from Sirianni, but I will ask this.
Sounds like somebody hit his dog.
Was it truly best for the football team when you promoted him?
No.
Like, did you go – because, again, we've talked about this. In all seriousness, instead of the joking around and all that kind of stuff, in all seriousness, there was no interview process.
No,
there was
no. How about this? No extensive interview process outside the.
They talked to what? Like probably 2 other people. Like they didn't do this. The search that you're seeing right now, with all the report, the Eagles will be interviewing every top candidate. Charlie Weiss Jr. was a name that popped up in the college landscape. Right? It looks like they're not going to leave any stone left unturned. Right?
Correct.
They're doing that this year. How come you didn't do that last year? The offensive coordinator. It's not like college head coaches where Lane Kiffin has to leave Ole Miss because he has to start the recruiting trail, and that's why he can't be the coach in the college football playoff. The offensive coordinator doesn't have to do anything. He's obviously going to start game planning, scheming, studying, but it's January. Or in last year's case, it was February. They had time. They could have done a search. They could have taken a 2-week process to figure out, is this truly the best for the team? And I don't think they did that. So when Sirianni says that in that clip, why did you think that last year this was best for the team?
I don't think he could explain it.
He can't.
No, he can't.
Because they didn't do an extensive search last year.
There's no explanation for Kevin Patullo having that job. There's none. I mean, they can rationalize it any way they want. It was a miscalculation, and it was a miscalculation because of the fact that Nick Sirianni was allowed to hire his boy.
And then, of course, it was not looking good. The report before the Chargers game from Tim McManus was that Nick Sirianni was going to get more involved with the offense. And then remember, that was the game where they dropped Jalen Hurts to throw almost 40 times. It went to overtime, so I think he did reach 40 passes. And he threw the 4 interceptions. It was ugly. We didn't hear if Nick Sirianni was still involved after that, right? We just were told going into the Chargers game that he was going to be more involved. And, man, did that look like crap that first week. Here was Nick Sirianni furthering his explanation as to when he got involved, why he got involved, and everything moving forward.
As the head coach, you always have to be oversight of everything. And again, this year, obviously, I got involved more in the offense as the end of the season came, because that's what I needed to do as the head football coach there. Again, many different ways to do it. I know that I want to be the head football coach, and I think that that's what the team needs. Again, everything I'm doing is not about what I want to do or anything like that. It's what I think is best for the football team. I think it's best for the football team when I'm the head football coach and being able to give my expertise on, whatever it may be, tackling, taking the ball away, protecting the football, anything on off. It could be anything, special teams. So, yeah, again, you have to be so intertwined as the leader of an organization. You have to be so intertwined with every different thing. And so, we'll see where all that goes as far as that goes. But, we've had a lot of success, doing it different. Again, it's never like this is the certain thing you have to do. And it's like there's a lot of different ways to do it, and different times of the season and different times of the year call for different things. And so we'll see how that plays out, but that's not something we're not there yet as far as that goes.
That may be the worst answer. That may be the worst answer I've ever heard. And I heard it yesterday. I didn't believe it because I heard part of it on Unfiltered. Mm-hmm. I came in on part of it, and then I heard it again at home. That may be the worst answer I've ever heard in a press conference.
Leading into that Chargers game, they scored 10 points against the Packers, 16 against the Lions, 21 against the Cowboys, but 0 in the second half, and 15 against the Bears. And that was the moment he finally realized when the calendar turned to December, I should probably get more involved with this offense, that there was talks about what the identity was through the month of December. So when he talks about what's best for the team, did he not realize that it needed to change earlier, They never removed Patullo from play calling duties. He just got more involved, and quite frankly, it got worse.
I can't understand. Look, if you're in your house and let's say you're having a party and Nick Sirianni's over and you're in one part of your house and then they start smelling smoke. Nick Sirianni will smell smoke for 15 minutes before he'll come tell you.
Yeah.
Now, that electrical fire will already be tearing up your attic. But he'll say, I didn't know what it was. Don't want to overreact.
Yeah, don't want to overreact.
Don't want to bother the firemen. Oh, my gosh.
So coming up next, we'll check our texts and calls. Who benefits more from the quote-unquote perfect situation? Is it Sirianni or Jalen Hurts? Collectively as a show, we all said Sirianni. Curious how many people out there would say Jalen Hurts. 610-632-0975. But also, what are the Eagles looking for in a new OC? Will Sirianni allow complete autonomy like the report stated earlier this week? Both Sirianni and Howie Roseman spoke on that yesterday. Here at next, Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now,
This hour of Kincade Salciunas is presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White, they're here for the pro.
All right, our question for you today, who benefits more from the quote-unquote perfect situation? Is it Jalen Hurts or is it Nick Sirianni? We collectively all said Nick Sirianni. We did a countdown. We did a 1, 2, 3, count up.
It
Right?
wasn't
Did I
even.
count up or count down? I think I did a
We
1, 2,
counted-
3.
Yeah, whatever.
And then we all said Nick Sirianni or coach at the same time. There are a lot of people in this city, not just nationally, but in this city, that believe Jalen Hurts benefits a lot from the players around him and the coaching staff and all that kind of stuff, and the offensive line being at its best. So I'm sure there's somebody out there that believes it is Jalen Hurts. We had a caller hang up, because we went to break. I get it. That was going to say, what are you guys talking about? Nick Sirianni wins on Sundays. That's all that matters. And I understand that there are people that view it that way. Are you winning or are you losing? It's like this season. The way I complained every single week about the offense, I caught crap every single week because it was, what do you complain about? They're winning. Unfortunately, I saw that story already 2 years ago. It wasn't that long ago. The roles were just reversed.
Yes.
2 years ago, or 3 years ago now, seasons-wise, 2023, the defense was the ultimate crumble, fell apart. Offense could not continue to carry them and win football games. It was just roles reversed this year, where the defense was playing ridiculous, but the offense crumbled enough that the defense could not hold the structure of the team together anymore.
To me, I can't believe that when you think about it, Jalen Hurts doesn't benefit from a head coach who can't fix the offensive side of the ball. I mean, and a offensive and a head coach, he doesn't benefit from a head coach who twice in a 3-year period has given guys offensive coordinator jobs that sucked. I mean, that's I don't mean to use such blunt language, but it's what it is. So Jalen Hurts has not benefited from that. And those are two of the prime years of his career in the midst of the Eagles roster being loaded. And those are two huge miscalculations where Nick Sirianni was the bobblehead telling you, yep, Brian Johnson's the guy. Oh, and Kevin Patullo's the guy. Look, there's always the expression, don't hire your friends.
Yeah.
And it's for a reason.
Yeah, because then you have to fire your friends.
Well, you can't.
Too.
No, I think it's more along the lines of, Andrew, is we love our friends. You can't evaluate your friends objectively.
Right.
You love your friends. Don't hire your brother. Don't hire your friends. That's why nepotism is not supposed to take place in the workplace.
All right. You can text in, call in 610-632-0975. So, yesterday, obviously, press conference, both Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman, a lot of the question was, what will the offense look like, or the candidate that comes in? Will Nick Sirianni be involved? So we played you a clip in the last segment. It was about Nick Sirianni sort of being more involved before that Chargers game, but then he continued to speak. You said it was one of the worst answers you've ever heard.
I think I've saved it to be able to play for my class. So I can play it for my class and say,
he
this
just
is
kept
terrible.
going about what he wants to do. He wants to be the head coach. He will help the offense if needed, but he
How?
also wants to help the defense. He wants to help tackling. He wants to help special teams. I don't think he does much with the defense. Maybe that's unfair because I'm not there. I don't think he does much with the defense. I'm going to guess that Vic Fangio has 99% control when it comes to the defense. So Howie Roseman was asked about it because let's face it, we all said the same thing. Bull spit when Nick Sirianni tried saying that he hired Kellen Moore. I didn't believe that for a second. And it was like 2 or 3 days later when Diana Rossini kind of set the record straight, saying, hey, just so you guys know, this whole Nick hired Kellen Moore thing, yeah, he was there. He was in the room.
Sure.
He had to, quote unquote, agree to this. But make no mistake, this was a Howie Roseman decision.
Hey, Nick,
to
do you
hire
agree?
to hire Kellen Moore.
Hey, Nick, what do you think about hiring Kellen Moore?
Yeah, blink twice if you feel safe. Here was Howie Roseman talking about Nick Sirianni and how he knows Nick will be flexible.
I just would say, with Coach, incredibly proud of him. He's shown that when we bring people in that he's open to doing whatever's best for this football team. And that's all he cares about is winning. And so anything that he's answering here obviously is dependent on who we bring in. But when he's brought in people, he's given them the flexibility to put their own spin on things. And obviously, I sit here and I feel incredibly grateful that I'm working with someone who, as a head coach, is elite at being a head coach, elite at building connection with our team, elite about talking about fundamentals, game management, situational awareness, bringing the team together, holding people accountable. And when you're looking for a head coach, those are really the job descriptions. And as you're building out a coaching staff, you're talking about being able to do that, being able to have elite play callers on both sides of the ball. And when you think about how hard it is to find those three things and that we have one, we're starting with a huge advantage. So I think that puts us in a great spot.
I thought it was a great answer. I thought he said everything right about Nick.
Howie had a great press conference.
Oh, no, it was a masterclass.
There's one thing, though, he was completely off base on.
Situational awareness?
No, I think situational awareness, I think he's...
Not this year.
See, I think Nick is...
I thought he was bad this year.
Wow, I think in games, I think Nick Sirianni...
How many times did we complain about taking points, not taking points?
I'm going to tell you...
He did a lot this year.
I'm going to tell you, as an Eagles coach, I've complained about Nick Sirianni less than any Eagles coach.
No, but I'm just saying this year.
Well, I'm just saying less than any Eagles coach I've ever rooted for. Nick Sirianni, I have no complaints. Look, I'm always going to have a complaint with a coach with decisions they make during a game.
Gotcha.
And some of them are going to be valid, some of them are going to be and some of them are going to be proven right in retrospect.
Sure.
But overall, all the other things he listed off about Nick Sirianni as a head coach, I agree with, and I think Howie was completely speaking from truth.
Right, that's why it's unfair to say Nick does nothing.
But he said about the offense, being able to fix the offense.
Well,
but the thing is, too, hold people accountable. That's where I had a problem. Hold people accountable. BS. He had a diva wide receiver that was helping to destroy the culture this year, distract the team. He had a offensive coordinator who literally, for the second time in 3 years, was driving his car into a ditch that he couldn't do anything to hold him accountable to say, I'm taking the wheel. So I don't buy that one. But overall, I think Howie Roseman had an A-plus press conference yesterday.
Yeah.
We're going to get to hear so much from him today. I loved a lot of what he had to say.
The one thing when he says Nick will always be flexible, let's think about this for a second. He's been flexible once. Because Steichen was that was their coaching staff. That was like Nick Sirianni, I imagine, was a big reason why Shane Steichen was here.
Steichen and him were close.
Yeah.
They got along.
No, he brought him
well.
over. Right. So was the flexibility him just taking himself out of play calling? All right, I guess that's being a little bit flexible. It's also that's also realizing that he wasn't good at it.
I think he was, and I still will always tell you this, and I believe I'm speaking from fact.
Yeah.
He was told.
So
you're taking yourself away from play calling.
So he was as flexible as the old torture device that would stretch your limbs out.
The rack?
Because he was forced to be flexible. He was forced to be flexible with Kellen Moore. So when they say Nick's flexible is a nice way to say he says yes. Right? Like Doug Peterson said no. Doug Peterson got his ass fired. Nick Sirianni said yes to Kellen Moore, and he was the head coach of the football team. I do think there's a big difference there. Just saying.
I don't blame you.
All right, what do we got?
No, I don't blame you.
What do we got on the text line, Connor? Our topic today. Who benefits more from the quote-unquote perfect situation? 610-632-0975. You can text in, you can call in, you can chime in on YouTube as well. We appreciate it however you listen to the show or be a part of the show. What do we got?
This texter will lead us off by saying the coach benefits most from the perfect situation because he has the least effect on the team. Sure, he may be the locker room guy, but he's no field general.
Yeah, I think that's spot on.
That's what
look,
it is.
He does things right. He does things well. He does things that I will appreciate, and one of them is winning. Right? He is a winning head coach, one of the most winningest head coaches to start a 5-year tenure in the NFL. But you can say that and also point out his best seasons have been when he's had a lot of help.
No, his best seasons, and by the way, most coaches' best seasons are when they have a lot of help. So there's part of that. But they also, their fingerprints on the crime scene of them winning are a lot more.
Yeah, Andy,
Like, people comparing, I heard callers yesterday on this radio station comparing the CEO, calling Nick Sirianni a CEO head coach, and they were comparing him to Harbaugh and Tomlin. If John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin heard themselves compared to Nick Sirianni, they would honestly throat punch you. If you were the caller and you were in their presence, they would throat punch you because they aren't.
Yeah, but then as you're gasping for air, that caller would say, yeah, but Nick's won. You guys haven't.
They've won.
Which is true.
No, they've won too. They've won also. And if they were sitting in front of general managers in the NFL, all available for jobs, they would all be hired. Both of them would be hired before Nick Sirianni. Mike Tomlin would be hired. John Harbaugh would be hired before Nick Sirianni. There's a reason for that.
And that's why we did that exercise last week. That got a lot of people angry. What else we got on the text line at 610-632-0975? Who's your top 5 coach?
All right, we have a
Top
check-in
5.
here. And this texter says, if you're more successful when you do less, that's telling. Also, I think this organization is ran through Howie, so if he fires Nick, I think you're still successful. That's why the coach benefits more.
Yeah, look, it's the Philadelphia Rosemans, right? Like, I don't think anybody still denies that. Howie got you a roster that won you a Super Bowl in 2017. He then went too far thinking he was the smartest man in the room. He then had a come to Jesus Luzardo moment where he was like, all right, I can't be this guy that thinks he knows everything. I have to start listening to people that are around here, right? Jeffrey Lurie needs to stop drafting wide receivers out of Stanford because he knew the family of J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. They got into some sort of chamber where they locked themselves in, figured out their differences, figured out what works best for the team, and that's why you've been as successful as you have been. They have a great roster. They have great ownership. They have great scouts. They have great players. Any head coach would benefit from that. Quarterback could too, though.
Correct.
The wide receivers. So who benefits more? 610-632-0975. Coming up next, it is another episode of Bo Watch. And oh boy, was there a big shakeup in the free agency market late last night. Good news, bad news? We'll talk about it next. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Talking Eagles pretty much all day today here on Kincade Salciunas. Our main topic for you, who benefits more from the quote-unquote perfect situation, Jalen Hurts or Nick Sirianni? We're going to be playing lots of clips from the press conference yesterday that included Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman. But before we continue that, music, please. Bow Watch, Johnny.
Some people stand in the darkness.
Bow Watch continues here on Kincade Salciunas specifically. Being used elsewhere now. Bow Watch.
No, it's not.
Here on 97.5, The Fanatic.
No, it's not.
Bo Bichette, obviously the free agent that we've been talking about for a while. It was about 2 weeks ago. Connor Thomas said no shot he signs here. And if he did, you would wear the propeller hat for 2 days. It's getting closer and closer to you wearing the propeller hat for 2 days.
Says you.
And I look forward to it so much, not only because I'm tired of being the guy that has to wear it all the time. I would like to see Connor wear it. Also, my sanity hinges on the Phillies signing Bo Bichette because I don't think this team is good enough without him. And so it would be really nice for them to sign him.
I shared something with Connor earlier today that I did not share with you.
Ooh.
A text message from a Major League Baseball executive yesterday.
Oh, interesting.
Said, well, I'm sure you guys are all panting over Bo Bichette signing.
I'm panting.
The far bigger news for Philadelphia baseball fans is going to be the signing of Francisco Renteria. This executive saying Francisco Renteria will be a name that will be said by children and grandchildren of Philadelphia for two generations.
Don't tempt me.
We'll talk about it more in headlines. I'll tell you who the kid is.
He said for 2 generations, and this is not a Phillies executive.
Yeah.
He says, this is a far bigger story long-term for Phillies fans that they grab Francisco Renteria.
Could the Phillies develop their first outfielder where they signed him or drafted him? This is international signing. Got him through minor leagues
Well, he's 17.
and to the big leagues.
Well, how for the Phillies, what does that mean, 25?
Yeah. But could this be the first guy they do this with since who?
No, they're doing it this year. Remember, Justin Crawford, if he's as good as he was.
Justin Crawford is going to be here.
All right, so could we see 2 outfielders on the same
Don't get
team?
crazy now.
Think about it. The Phillies and outfielders. I'm dead serious. I think we have to go back to the 90s, if I'm not mistaken, because Burrow was drafted as an infielder.
Victorino was Rule 5.
Victorino's Rule 5. Ibanez signing.
Right.
Hunter Pence trade.
Worth Rule 5?
Rule 5. Every outfielder, Bobby Abreu, was it a Stro before or Angel?
I forget who he was.
He got traded for. The outfielders that you can name that had somewhat of success, whether it was all-star seasons or were part of winning teams, they were not products of the Phillies farm system. We may see 2.
Well,
Hell may freeze over because of it, but we may see 2.
The only question being is when the Phillies will get this kid up. Could he play in the major leagues as early? And I say, my question right back was, could this kid play in the major leagues 19, 20 years old?
Like other teams do?
Well, this one said, our organization might.
But not the Phillies. Yeah.
Take your time.
This kid
might be over.
No, don't take your time.
It might be over for a while.
This kid's 6'3", 200 pounds.
Don't take your time.
At the age of 17.
No,
Ridiculous.
don't take your time.
So don't take your time with Bo Bichette either. Make it happen.
Yes.
Because we're all sitting here, as that executive said, panting for Bo Bichette. So first, I want to play you a clip from Ken Rosenthal because this took place earlier in the day yesterday. There's a reason why I'm saying earlier in the day yesterday. This was Rosenthal on the Foul Territory Network.
I don't expect them to sign Bo Bichette. I have not expected it the entire offseason. So, yes, they have money that they would have devoted to Kyle Tucker that they could now redirect to Bo Bichette, but I still believe rather strongly that Bo Bichette's going to end up with the Philadelphia Phillies.
So he was talking about the Los Angeles Dodgers in the early part of that clip, and he said, I still expect that Bo Bichette, rather strongly, that Bo Bichette is going to sign with the Philadelphia Phillies. The reason why I wanted to play that first, there was a major shakeup, speaking of the Los Angeles Dodgers, in Major League Baseball yesterday. They signed Kyle Tucker to a 4-year, $240 million deal.
which is ridiculous for Kyle Tucker's skill set.
This guy is getting $60 million a year. The rich get richer. He's a very good baseball player. They have a very good baseball team. Duh, they've won the World Series in back-to-back years. And now the rich get richer. And they've had another incredible offseason, right? Edwin Diaz, they signed early on in the offseason. So the Dodgers just keep getting better. So if you're the Philadelphia Phillies, you got to keep up, right?
Well, you're not keeping up.
You can't.
You got to try. I can't say that Adolis Garcia was our attempt to keep up with the Los Angeles Dodgers. You can't do it. You have to do whatever you can to try to get better. Look at these two teams, right? The Dodgers improved their team after the first World Series. They win another World Series and have gone out there to try to improve it even more. The Phillies got to a World Series 4 years ago and have continuously ran it back except for Trey Turner. And I know that's a big except because he got paid $300 million, but it's gotten stale. It's gotten stale. They've gotten worse and worse the last couple of years when it comes to the playoffs, and they have not really attempted to get better in terms of big contracts. They might try to do that with Bichette.
Yeah, but this is like being the GM of a football team and saying, where's our Tom Brady? The GM of a basketball team and saying, where's our LeBron James? It's a league one team plays in and nobody else comes close.
But all you people tell me that they just got to get hot, right? The Dodgers are got to get hot proof. The Dodgers are good. You have 9 ridiculously good players.
The Dodgers would have lost a World Series if the Toronto Blue Jays third base coach had properly done his job and had his.
Okay,
the Dodgers didn't win a World Series.
But they weren't relying on getting hot, is what I'm saying. They rely on their talent.
But the Dodgers didn't dominate their way to the World Series. The Dodgers should have lost that World Series. They should have lost Game 7 of the World Series twice, and they didn't. Toronto blew Game 7 of the World Series twice.
Sure.
So I mean,
but
they're a beatable team,
right?
They're a beatable team, but they just keep trying to.
But the Phillies need to get better.
They do.
So I saw a very intriguing, happy tweet from Bob Nightingale late in the night, 12:15 this morning.
Did Dave Dombrowski type it for him?
I don't know.
Just wondering.
12:15 a.m. from Bob Nightingale. Great job covering baseball for USA Today. The Phillies are the overwhelming favorites to sign infielder Bo Bichette, while the Yankees and Mets will now be in a bidding war for Cody Bellinger. So he's saying Mets-Yankees have turned their attention to Bellinger. Phillies overwhelming favorites for Bo Bichette.
And now
Nobody wants JT Realmuto, so you can bring him back too while we're at it.
Yeah, well, here's what the Phillies are. The Phillies have a doctorate in this, though. As I say, the president runs the team on Facebook Marketplace. They will now bid against themselves for Bo Bichette and pay much more than they have to. There's nobody else bidding against them, and they will overpay for Bo Bichette if they do.
That's not the issue here. The issue is you're not going to beat LA either way.
Bring home Bo.
What
Why
are we
do you
even
say
doing?
that?
This is Mr. Positivity.
That's ridiculous.
Exactly. So if I'm saying it, listen to me.
That's ridiculous.
It's over.
Wow.
Congratulations, Dodgers. 3-peat. There you go.
Bring home Bo. Bo Watch, another episode.
If you had done your
books.
job, the Phillies would have beaten the Dodgers.
Yeah, if Orion Kerkering doesn't.
If Trey Turner learns how to play shortstop.
We'll hang the if banner in the break.
Coming up next, who benefits more from the quote-unquote perfect situation in Philly, Jalen or Nick? How about Middays with Marks getting Mike Florio on yesterday, Johnny? He spoke on both. Both were damning. We'll have to figure out which one was worse. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Fanatic Sports Update.
Sirianni speaks about his involvement. I'm Connor Thomas and Ali Roseman. Nick Sirianni met with the media yesterday for their year-end presser after the Eagles' season came to an end in the wild card round. There was a lot to get into, including Nick Sirianni being asked about his involvement in the offense and with the team in general.
As the head coach, you always have to be oversight of everything. Again, many different ways to do it. I think it's best for the football team when I'm the head football coach. So, we'll see where all that goes as far as that goes.
The next piece of the puzzle is hiring a new offense coordinator to take the spot of Kevin Patullo. How involved will Nick Sirianni be? We'll keep an eye on that as the offseason continues. Flyers fell to the Penguins 6-3 last night, extending their losing streak to 5 games. They're off until tomorrow. Sixers host the Cavs tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And in baseball, as we were just talking about, the rich get richer. The defending champion Dodgers have signed 4-time All-Star Kyle Tucker to a 4-year deal. Amy Fadul will join us coming up from the 8 o'clock hour till the end of the show, breaking down everything that we've gotten into today on the Birds and Beyond. This update is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MADD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MADD-HELP or visit MADD.org. I'm Connor Thomas for your home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It is 7 a.m. here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic on a non-Eagle Football Friday. Football Fridays on The Fanatic presented to us by Norristown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Driving a great deals at the winter sales event, Norristown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and get freaking good deals all month long and a Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram. Visit NorristownChryslerDodge.com. Our topic today for you to climb aboard on at 610-632-0975 is who benefits more from the quote-unquote perfect situation? Is it Nick Sirianni? Is it Jalen Hurts? We collectively as a show all say Nick Sirianni, but I do know that there are a lot of people that say any quarterback could play well on this team. Any quarterback could play well with the weapons around. A lot of people say it. Look, we've had the conversation. Josh Allen would probably have won a Super Bowl.
I absolutely believe that, but I don't believe Josh Allen is any quarterback.
Right, exactly. Like, I think
it's so ridiculous. Like, I don't believe Kirk Cousins.
Right.
Would have won. I don't believe Kirk Cousins would have won anything that Jalen Hurts has won.
Let's see. Look, C.J. Stroud.
I don't believe that.
C.J. Stroud did whatever he could to lose the game last weekend against the Steelers, and yet he's
a train wreck to me. Like he's a train wreck.
I think he's got talent, but like
he would not win everything that Jalen Hurts has won with the same situation.
Right. And look, he's got a great defense.
Great defense.
The weapons aren't as well known, but they got good receivers on that team. The big difference for them is the injury to Joe Mixon he just disappeared. Nick Chubb wasn't the same. Marks is a good running back, but he's not Saquon. Like
not Middays with Marks.
Not Middays with Marks. That's like the big difference. So who benefits more? 610-632-0975. We'll get back to our text messages. You can comment on our YouTube section. You can call in as well. But let's play a couple clips for you. So yesterday on Middays with Marks, Mike Florio joined the show. Obviously, it has pro football talk. You see him on Sunday Night Football on NBC. And he talks about both. So let's start with Jalen Hurts because I think Hurts will get the least amount of the answers in this conversation. So let's hear what he says about Jalen Hurts because both Hurts and Sirianni, he has pretty damning answers about. We're just going to figure out which one's worse or not as bad. Here's Florio and Hurts.
Top 5, no. Top 10, no. After the top 10, who knows? And if you're middle of the pack, right? I said this about Brock Purdy last year when the 49ers were trying to figure out his contract. Like, if he's number 16, there's only 15 guys in the world that are better at your job than you in the entire world. So there's no shame about being a middle of the pack quarterback. Jalen Hurts is accomplished. He's achieved great things, but there's a sense that he doesn't live up to his full potential or take the team to its full potential. The general thought nationwide is the Eagles are supremely talented, but there's something that keeps them from being as good as they can be each and every year, that this should be a dynasty, not a team that's been to only 2 Super Bowls and won once. This team should be racking them up and should still be alive now. And look, with Hurts, there's a lot of different theories. I thought the report from Derek Dunn that emerged during the season was very telling. The bottom line is this, though. The Eagles need to acknowledge there's an issue with the offense, and they need to fix it. And the problem is, when they fix it one year, they fix it so well, they win a Super Bowl, and there goes the coach. And then they have to find a new coordinator, and it doesn't work out like it did this year. And this revolving door of coordinators just needs to end. I don't know how you do that, because if you keep making good hires, you keep losing them, and then you make a bad hire, and you got to fire him. And for some reason, none of it sticks to Nick Sirianni, and not much of it sticks to Jalen Hurts.
So when it comes to Hurts, because that's who the first person, the subject matter was, when he says there are thoughts that this team has been held back by Jalen Hurts, I'm sure there are people around the league. Again, right. I'll reference it again. I wonder where he comes in next year or this upcoming summer. The Jeremy Fowler polls that he does before every season, where he does not ask the ESPN panel or his buddies. He talks to coaches and executives around the league. And Jalen Hurts, after winning the Super Bowl, came in at number 9 of the quarterbacks in the NFL. I bet you he's outside of the top 10 this summer. We will react to it. People are going to get really fed up about it. But that's how the league views Jalen Hurts. But
probably
for him,
not a good year to be fed up about it.
Right, exactly. But for Florio to say, you know, there's thoughts that they could be a dynasty and not just what they have accomplished. When we talked about perspective the other day, I'm happy with what they have, quote unquote, just accomplished. Getting to a Super Bowl and winning another one with Jalen Hurts as the quarterback.
Okay, let me tell you about Mike Florio. I've known Mike a long time. Mike and I used to be like not close, but we were friends. Knew him well when he was just starting out. When he was just a lawyer from West Virginia. Mike has a long-standing dislike of the Philadelphia fan base.
Okay.
So just so you know that going in, his personal animus against this fan base is real. So when you hear that about a media member, I know it. I'll speak to it fact. If Mike was on this show, I would say, Mike, don't bullcrap my audience. I know it for a fact, and you know it for a fact. We've had dinner together. I know him. There is a when he says, like, there is a widespread belief across the league that, I'm going to tell you flat out right now, I don't believe Mike Florio speaks for the widespread thing around the league. I believe Mike Florio speaks for the people he speaks to.
Okay.
I believe that there is a ton of respect for the skill set that Nick Sirianni has, but there are also the people that doubt.
Right.
I think there's a lot of conflict. I think he's a convoluted case.
I think the same could be said about Hurts.
No, there is. And it is. It's like it's Hurts. It's Sirianni. There's a lot of it. But the idea that Yeah, people think around the league the Eagles should be a dynasty. Oh, will you just stop?
Look,
Just stop. It's ridiculous.
I'm sure people around the league could think that, but with who?
I mean, seriously.
Like, who's the we can't play make-believe land all the time.
You can't.
Yeah, if they had Stafford. Yeah, if they had Allen. Yeah,
don't
if they had
have
Mahomes.
these- they don't have
those
those guys.
They're not going to have those guys. They can't make that. That trade's not happening, right? So who is the quarterback? This is where I try to have this conversation about Hurts because there are people that don't like Jalen Hurts in this city, right? Who else would it have been, right? Like, Hurts replaced Wentz. Nobody thinks that Wentz would still be some successful quarterback, right? Like, we all agree that Wentz was a disaster and has since become a disaster and it might not even get a job anymore. Who knows?
Absolutely.
Maybe he had a bit of a resurgence with Minnesota playing through broken bones and everything. Who knows? So it's not Wentz. Who are the quarterbacks? I remember after year one of Jalen Hurts, they wanted to trade for Aaron Rodgers. I don't know how that would have worked. They wanted to trade for Russell Wilson. I think we know how that would have worked. They wanted to trade up for Zach Wilson. We know how that would have worked.
It was exposed that Howie wanted.
Yeah, this is what the Eagles wanted, right? We're not talking about what fans wanted. This is what the Eagles wanted.
They kicked tires on Wilson and Rodgers. They kicked tires.
Right.
They how serious that got, we don't know. But they aggressively pursued Zach Wilson.
There was talk about the Eagles drafting C.J. Stroud at one point.
There was.
How would that have worked out? It doesn't seem like it's all that perfect in Houston. So when we have these conversations about Jalen Hurts and, oh, man, it could look so much different with a different quarterback, who is that different quarterback? Mike Florio can tell you all that he wants about people say Jalen Hurts might be maybe the heaviest weight that they have to carry on that offense. But
we had a texter who said that yesterday.
yeah, exactly. Okay, exactly.
No, the fat thing.
The fat thing, that's right.
Yes.
That was weird. But, like, who is it that it would have been or will be or could have been? The only other answer is Tanner McKee. And I'm not ready to sit here comfortably saying Tanner McKee would do just as much, if not more, than Jalen Hurts.
What did you not see of Tanner McKee? And again, once again, Tanner McKee was on the market last year with Howie Roseman. Everybody could have traded for Tanner McKee. Everybody knew he was available. Every general manager could have traded for him. Nobody wanted Tanner McKee. It's like, so the market for Tanner McKee was made very, very clear. There was no big market for Tanner McKee.
Yeah.
They would have moved him for a third-round pick, reportedly. Third-round pick. If someone had said third-round pick, we'll take him, they would have moved him. They didn't get that.
So that was Florio on Hurts. And we'll get to our text line here after this clip. Florio then spoke about Nick Sirianni. We just have to figure out which one's more damning. Here he is on Sirianni.
And when you got the job by being an offensive coordinator, that's what's so weird about it. Especially on the offensive side of the ball, we see the coach wanting to continue to ride the horse that brought him to a head coaching job. And yeah, it's almost as if Sirianni has completely delegated to the point where when it's time to get involved, he doesn't know how. After the win against the Bills, the second time during the season that the Eagles went a full half 0-7 or worse in the passing game, he said that there isn't enough time between plays to really have input, so he needs to spend more time between series working with the offense. Well, there was only one game that they really tried to win after that. That was the playoff game. I don't know what he was doing between series. I don't remember any shots of him away from the sideline working with Kevin Petula, working with the offense.
That is more damning.
Okay, here's what I would just say. Shame on you, Mike Florio. You didn't watch Hard Knocks. You didn't watch Hard Knocks. You came on Philadelphia radio to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, and you didn't watch Hard Knocks.
Okay.
I saw at least 5, 6 examples, maybe 7 of that.
Of Sirianni working.
Yes,
on
where
the side.
Sirianni's talking with people.
Yeah.
Sirianni interacting and Sirianni having little conversations.
Did they ever do the tablet?
The blue, is that the blue?
Microsoft, whatever.
Microsoft, whatever it
Surface.
is. Yeah, whatever.
Surface Pro.
Surface Pro, yes. So they did the blue Surface Pro thing or little conversations or side conversations with the thing. So I sort of say shame on you. And more importantly, I'm going to tell you this. And look, I don't want to just pile on Mike Florio because is that.
Yeah, it sounds personal.
Well, no, I know Mike has a dislike of this organization and this fan base. And I know it personally. One-on-one, it's not a hearsay, it's a one-on-one understanding of that. I will flat out tell you what Mike knows about the inner workings of the Eagles could fill a shot glass. So to me, that's what I would
Did you
say.
disagree with the first 40 seconds
No,
of that clip?
no. Some of it, I absolutely agree with.
Yeah.
But I think some of it is, but there's the whole idea is Nick Sirianni making Nick Sirianni sound like he's just like the scarecrow, or that he's just like propped up on the sidelines doing nothing, or that he has nothing to do with this team. I will just tell you is factually incorrect.
Okay.
That's factually incorrect, and all you have to do is do 10 minutes of research talking to some of his leaders.
But we also all agree the point that when the offense needed fixing, he was
and I've been
unable to fix the offense.
I've been one of the biggest advocates of that. I've said that over and over again. But the thing is, that's one part of it. But you can't tell just part of the story. You have to tell it all. And he has great support in that locker room. I gotta tell you.
That's...
And by the way, he has great support by members of the front office who speak incredibly highly of him.
Absolutely.
And I've been around coaches in all sports in my career where members of the front office will tell you on the side, and they'll go, oh, God, this guy's a disaster. This guy is, he's a pleasure to work with.
No principal meetings this year for Sirianni.
That's good. There's positive.
All right, we'll get back to the text line. By the way, before we do that, I forgot to mention this during Bo Watch. Can you play the music one more time? We do Bo Watch.
Now, who's stealing this?
Nobody.
I thought you said somebody's stealing it.
Episodes stream every single day here on Kincade and Salciunas at 6:47 until the signing happens. And if it doesn't sign, I think I might just quit. Did you see what the Reading Fightin' Phils posted yesterday?
Yeah, they got to calm down.
What are they doing? Did you see this, John?
I did not.
Oh, you missed it. So at 5:01 yesterday, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, right, early evening, they posted they posted a tweet, Throwback Thursday, ... If you know, you know. And it's 3 photos of Bo Bichette in his Fisher Cats jersey. That's the AA affiliate for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay.
No other context. No photos of, him next to a Philly. It's just 3 single shots of Bo Bichette. Why?
Well, you know why, but they shouldn't be doing it.
What, to get engagement?
Yeah, and because the rumors are going on,
and
they
worked.
got nothing to tweet about.
It worked. You put the hook in your mouth, and you did exactly what they wanted.
This is affiliated with the Phillies. This is the official Twitter account of the AA Phillies, the Reading Fightin' Phils. This isn't some Reading Fightin' Phils fan account.
He's not signing with the Reading Fighting Phils. They're just trying to fish. They're trying to fish for engagement and followers.
If he were to sign, he's signing with the organization.
Yeah, but he's not their organization.
Imagine if the Eagles posted a photo of Joe Burrow.
Their organization
if
is
you
not.
You know.
Their organization's not the Phillies. Their organization's independent. They're independent. They can do whatever they want.
Well,
they're trying to get engagement. They're trying to get engagement. They could be associated with the Yankees next year. They could be associated with the Red Sox next year.
Right, but that doesn't make them independent. They're currently the Phillies AA
I understand,
team.
but they could be. They're not the Phillies, though. They could be whoever they want.
So
They could change next year.
You're okay with the?
Yes.
What
it's social media. They're just trying to sucker you. Yes, they can. They did exactly what they wanted to do. You gave them what they wanted, what they sought out to do.
I'm surprised. Is that the upset of the century that he's okay with it?
Yeah, what they sought out to do is exactly what you gave them.
You're Mr. Business and best work ethics and practices and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but
I'm shocked that you're okay with
it. They're trying to do what's best for their business, and next year they could be a Red Sox affiliate. They could be a Washington affiliate. They don't care. They're trying to get engagement for their team and their social media accounts.
I'm shocked. That's the upset of the century. And that's the most surprising thing.
If the Phillies did that, I'd be all over it. If the actual Phillies did it, I'd be killing it.
All right, side topic. Are you okay with the Phillies AA affiliate posting 3 photos of Bo Bichette saying Throwback Thursday, if you know, you know, considering all the rumors surrounding Bo Bichette and the Philadelphia Phillies as a Major League Baseball player and contract? I need to know if people are okay with this. I'm stunned that it's 2-1 here.
Watching them bid against each other, bid against themselves is going to be the craziest part of this whole thing, because Dave Dombrowski literally tells everybody in Major League Baseball the players he doesn't like, so then nobody wants to trade for them.
You mean Nick Castellanos?
Or Alec Boehm last year, and again this year. So he just sits with these guys. They're on Facebook Marketplace. You can go make a bid on them right now if you're willing to pick them up at the Exton Mall parking lot. He'll meet you.
I think Boehm gets moved and the entire contract is picked up by the team that he's traded to.
Then you are getting a low-level prospect.
Right. The Castellanos thing.
Because of the fact that you devalued your product.
The Castellanos thing, you're paying all of it.
Oh, I don't think you're paying. No way.
Oh, fine. You're paying $17
You're paying, yeah.
million.
In order, well, that's going to be depends on what you're getting. Then you might get a better prospect. I mean, that's what it is. Is that Dave Dombrowski telegraphs every move he makes. If you're having a poker night, you want Dave Dombrowski coming over because he literally will tell you everything he's got. Oh, hey, Dave, you're here. Oh, look at my hand. Oh, Dave, looks like you got some aces there.
What do we got?
It's poorly run.
What do we got on the text line there, Connor? 610-632-0975.
All right, this texter checks in, says, I think people forget before the collapse of 23, Hurts carried that team to 10-1 record in which he had multiple game-winning drives and an MVP frontrunner. Nick Sirianni certainly benefits more from the perfect situation.
Right. Now, I can also say, because I like to try to be as fair as possible, even though we all agree Sirianni benefits more from it, Nick Sirianni should also get credit for them being 10-1 in that season.
Absolutely, he
like,
should.
Like, that texter was like, it was all Jalen that they were 10-1.
Well,
Nick Sirianni also deserves credit that they were 10-1 with a team where you were wondering how the hell are they doing.
The morning after they were 10-1, Jalen Hurts was number one favorite to win the MVP.
Right.
And by the way, he was also on December 1st of both years, 2022 and 2023. Jalen Hurts was number one in the MVP balloting, and MVP odds on every sports betting app. December 1st, 2022, 2023. So Jalen Hurts was having amazing seasons both.
Oh, absolutely. But like, I think Nick Sirianni deserves some credit for them being 10-1 too. Right? Like he absolutely deserves.
Absolutely, he does. That's why I don't want them to move on from Sirianni yet, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. What else we got?
Johnny checks in, says, Florio is biased. However, I so believe one thing to be said is true. The Eagles could have been a dynasty with a good OC. With bad OCs, we got double-digit win seasons with a first-round exit. With good OCs, 2 Super Bowl trips, 1 win.
Yeah. I mean, I spot on. Look, this year, I remember the Unfiltered did a poll on Monday where they asked, would the Eagles have won the Super Bowl if they had a different offensive coordinator? And 55% of people said yes. I couldn't guarantee that.
This year? No.
But I could, as I said earlier this week, in response to that, because we kind of responded to it on Tuesday, I could have guaranteed at least 2 more wins, which would have given you a higher seed. You could have been playing for the 1 seed.
Correct.
And then if you have the 1 seed, you're not eliminated in the first round of the playoffs because you're not playing in the first round of the playoffs. And the second round of the playoffs is at Lincoln Financial Field, where we will always say there's a chance.
You think they would have been the 1 seed? They would have won 3 more games?
I said at least 2 more games.
Well, 3. You would have had 3 to be the 1
Well,
seed.
week 18 they lost, right? Week 18 they're playing. They're playing for the 1 seed.
No, you never know with the rest group. You know, we need that rest.
All right.
Got to have that rest.
But if you're playing for the 1 seed, you're playing for the 1 seed.
If I hear about rest ever again from this organization, shut up.
They would have played for the 1 seed.
They would have. And Denver and Dallas were games you should have won. Just looking at those 2.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have argued.
What about games you should have lost? Well, we could do games you should have lost. If you start doing this stuff, the Rams game's a game you should have lost.
So hang on. If you have a different offensive coordinator than Kevin Patullo, you're going to lose those games?
No, but there are games you could have lost too if you're just going back on this year if we're doing those.
I also don't know if you're down 19-7 at halftime against the Rams.
I don't know.
Right?
That is
and then the Rams come out and score. They scored right away, right? So it was 26-7. I don't know if they're down 26-7.
How about a new offensive coordinator that maybe Jalen Hurts doesn't react well to it?
Yeah,
and doesn't grasp the offense and throws a bunch of interceptions. Remember what he did again with Kellen Moore as his new offensive coordinator when he came out and
it was bad to start.
The first 4 games were terrible. So we don't know that either. It may have been a learning curve. Instead of being 4-0 in September, they may have been 2-2 and they have missed the playoffs.
Well, 2-2 got you the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, but they were 4-0 this year.
They just went
and they went 11-6. 2-2, you missed the playoffs.
All right, coming up next, obviously we've been having fun with some Bo Watch. I've told you that my hope with the Phillies hinges on him alone. Well, yesterday, you saw a difference when it comes to urgency from the leader of a team. Howie Roseman gave a masterclass to Dave Dombrowski when he spoke yesterday. Hear that next, and another wild betting scandal in sports. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5. About that. FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the divisional round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts means even more ways to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in. Take your shot on an upset or build a parlay that fits the moment. I like Seattle to cover the 7. I like both NFC favorites. I like Seattle to cover the 7 against San Francisco. I can't see the 49ers put together a second effort like that. And I like the Rams to continue to win. They are 3.5-point favorites against the Bears. Then apply your profit boost. Go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs keep rolling. Visit FanDuel.com/local. Grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. You got to be 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. Opt-in required. Bonus issue is non-optimal profit boost tokens. Restricted apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Not a successful season. I'm Connor Thomas, and I don't think we needed Howie Roseman to sit behind the microphone yesterday and tell us that about the 25-26 Eagles, but he and Nick Sirianni met with media yesterday for their year-end presser after the Eagles lost to the Niners in the wild card round, and there was a lot to get into, but Howie Roseman did talk about the success level of the season or the lack thereof.
You know, if it doesn't end with confetti falling on our head, I don't feel like it's good enough. I know that we're not going to win the Super Bowl every year, but I believe we can, you know, and I go into every offseason thinking we're going to do whatever it takes to win a Super Bowl, and when we fall short, I look to improve.
And the Eagles certainly fell short this year with the first-round exit. The next piece of the puzzle is hiring an offensive coordinator to take Kevin Patullo's place, so we'll keep you updated on that coaching search as the offseason gets going for the Birds. Flyers fell to the Penguins 6-3 last night. Their losing streak is now up to 5 games. They need to find a W in the worst way. They're off until tomorrow. Sixers host the Cavs tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And big news in baseball late last night. The rich get richer. The defending champion Dodgers have signed 4-time All-Star Kyle Tucker to a monster 4-year deal. So that defending champion team gets even better. Amy Fadul joins us from the 8 o'clock hour till the end of the show. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Let me tell you something. I may give them a hard time, but they're really not that bad. At least most of the time. Now let's listen to more Kincade and Salciunas before I change my mind.
7 a.m. hours brought to you by the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the BetParks app. Play all your favorite casino games. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, before we show our flowers or give our flowers to Howie Roseman, is that how you say it? For the urgency that he was saying during the press conference yesterday in comparison to another leader of a club here in Philadelphia. Club being the key word.
Club.
Speaking of the club, the Philadelphia Phillies, Neil on our YouTube chat is wondering the Dodgers signing Kyle Tucker last night. In case you have not heard yet, and obviously you were asleep when it happened, Kyle Tucker, 4-year deal, $240 million for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Rich get richer, $60 million a year. It's the highest average annual salary in the history of baseball, I believe I saw.
Brutal.
Yeah, 60 per. He's wondering, does the Dodgers signing Tucker help or hurt the Phillies signing Bichette? Immediately, it's help because, not that the Dodgers are ever out because they seem to have endless money, but it looks like the Dodgers would be out of the Bichette sweepstakes.
Well, 57's deferred, I believe.
Of course it is, because they do it, and other teams could do it.
The Phillies can do the same thing.
Phillies
Anybody whining about it, the Phillies have the same exact rules are there. Now, they won't be there after next season because it's going to be a complete shutdown of baseball.
Everything's going to change, yeah.
No, there's a shutdown of baseball.
Now, the one thing with Toronto was in on Tucker. And now that they don't get Kyle Tucker, do they then go back to Bo Bichette and say, all right, Bo, we want you back. Here's the money. Really interesting report from Mark Feinsand, who does a very good job covering Major League Baseball. Losing out on Tucker certainly increases the chances of a reunion with Bichette, but by no means does it make it a sure thing. According to sources, Bichette has privately expressed concern about the physical impact of playing half of his games on artificial turf at the Rogers Center, which could play into his ultimate decision.
That's interesting. I think, too, how about paying 54% of any dollar here in Canada?
I'm sure.
Can also play. Not that Philadelphia is any great place tax-wise to play either, but tax-wise. But
how about this?
Better than Canada.
The turf could come into play.
I think that's great.
For Bo Bichette and his decision.
Let's go, Bo.
Yeah, and people want to build a dome at Lincoln Financial Field or whatever the new stadium would be.
You could do grass.
Yeah, you could. All right, we'll tell you about this crazy betting scandal, but let's play a couple of clips from Howie Roseman. So we're not joking when we say the Dave Dombrowski press conference at the end of the season was a freaking disaster.
It was absolutely horrendous.
He made you feel like they were one pitch away from winning the World Series. They lost in the first round of the playoffs. Like, I get it. It was the team that won the World Series.
Oh, they're going to hang a banner.
But but Dave Dombrowski almost made it seem like if we beat the Dodgers, we're World Series champions.
Yes. That's not an over. You're not. You're laughing.
Like they would have beaten. It was a lock that they would have beaten the Brewers.
That's exactly how he made it sound.
Lock that they would have beaten the Blue Jays.
Oh yeah,
the team that took the Dodgers to 7 games.
Everything would have worked out perfectly for them if it's exactly how he made it seem. You people, I don't know why you're looking at me like this. We won 96 games. We got a good club.
We just needed a bloop and a blast. That's all we needed.
So ridiculous.
That's what Dave Dombrowski made you feel. By the way, Alec Bohm was your cleanup hitter in the playoffs, and Brandon Marsh was your 5-hole hitter.
No,
in the playoffs.
Don't say that to him, though. He doesn't want to hear that.
So how about answers we would like to hear? Here was Howie Roseman, his first initial statement from the press conference yesterday, talking about his urgency to win.
It's a great compliment when guys get head coaching jobs from here because it means we're having tremendous success. So, as much as you'd like to have continuity and like to have guys here for a long period of time, we want to win. We have an urgency to win right now. And if that comes with the ramifications that we lose good people because they've earned head coaching jobs, we'll live with that.
All right. And that was, of course, hey, do you want to have an offensive coordinator that will be here for a long time?
Love that answer.
He doesn't care. As long as we're winning, we're happy. So Dave Dombrowski wants to win. I agree that I would say that comfortably that Dave Dombrowski wants to win.
Okay, what did you hear any answer ever from Dave Dombrowski that sounds like that?
I think he wants to win.
No. Did you ever hear any answer from Dave Dombrowski that sounds that ballsy, that defiant.
No.
Well, then
I'm just saying. I think deep down he wants to win.
Well,
Also,
they all want to win. Everybody wants to win.
The Phillies have also had nobody hired away.
Yeah, because nobody wants him.
No, I'm just talking about the aggressiveness.
Right.
that you hear.
Now, later on in the press conference, this is the major difference between what you heard from Dave Dombrowski back in October to what you heard yesterday out of Howie Roseman talking about, hey, no confetti, it's not good.
Not good enough. If it doesn't end with confetti falling on our head, I don't feel like it's good enough. And I know that we're not going to win the Super Bowl every year. I think I know that from a broad perspective, but I believe we can, and I go into every offseason thinking we're going to do whatever it takes to win a Super Bowl. And when we fall short, I look at myself, I look at the things that I could have done different, and I look to improve. And that's where I'm at right now.
Dave Dombrowski said, well, we won 96 games.
Yes, I mean, seriously. That is nothing. There's nothing that you heard there from Howie Roseman that in any way resembles Dave Dombrowski. And that's where, when I heard it, because I was teaching yesterday, and when I got out of class and I'm listening to Unfiltered and I'm hearing that, it made my blood boil.
Yeah.
Because Howie is exactly, look, Howie's not perfect. But Howie is always there fighting, rolling the dice, doing the things to say a championship is what this city deserves. It's what I'm fighting for every day, and I'm not bragging over 96 wins.
Right.
I'm not bragging over
good
regular
club.
season victories.
Good club.
I'm not quoting regular season wins to the Philadelphia fan base.
You know what's funny? Did you hear Howie Roseman at all say, if AJ just caught that ball,
no.
if Jake just makes that kick,
no.
If we just got this call,
no.
But Dombrowski's like, if Trey just throws it.
If Trey just makes a play that he should have made, like a routine grade school kid.
And if we liked Nick Castellanos, maybe that would be different.
Yeah,
but,
well, there's
we
a
hate
huge
him.
difference between the two guys. Dave Dombrowski built his resume multiple different places. Howie Roseman has been forged in the crucible of Philadelphia. He knows this city as much as he knows football. And that's why he is so in tune with the fan base these days.
Yeah, but he should also know how to speak on success.
And also,
Dave Dombrowski, winning World Series, should know how to speak on success.
And Connor, I got to tell you, is that Dave Dombrowski, with his resume and his background in baseball, he should have the effort mentality to sit behind a microphone at any time and be like, I am only here. I'm only doing this. I am eligible for Medicare. I am eligible for Social Security. The only reason I should be doing this is to go win a World Series. And instead, it's this bullcrap about 96 wins.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the mentality. You guys are absolutely right. Like, I wish everybody in this town had that Howie Roseman mentality. I'm just saying, like, Howie's never been anywhere else. Like, Howie's been here. He knows Philadelphia, Dave Dombrowski, Detroit, and Boston, Miami, and all these places.
He's been really crucial places,
some top
too.
markets. Yeah, some
He's
top
been
markets.
tough places,
I think
too.
tough places. I think Miami, Florida.
Well, no, the other two.
No, well, you're talking about Boston is a brutal place.
It's just, it's different for a GM that knows the city as well as they know their sport.
All right. Pobo.
No, I'm not backing him up. I'm just talking about the difference.
So one more for you. Howie wanted to end the press conference with a bit of a statement, because at one point he was talking about the here and now and the future, right? Because there is a lot of money tied up to the offense. You have some older players, Lane Johnson, right?
Sure.
And you're going to have to start paying money to the players on defense. He wanted to make a closing statement before the end of the press conference. This is what it was.
Can I clarify one thing? Because I think it's important for our fans to understand. You can do whatever it takes to win now and still build for the future and still have those parallel paths. I just don't want it to get confused that we can't do whatever it takes to build a championship caliber team next year and also continue to have really good players on this team for the future. So, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page on that.
I love that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Nice and simple.
I mean, it's an aggressive, we're not proud, we're not happy.
Literally
we're
the complete
not
opposite.
We are not. It's exactly, he is the anti-Dombrowski. And I sent that to you guys, that was my takeaway.
Yeah.
He's the anti-Dave Dombrowski. I am not going to sit up here and I'm going to tell you, you people, a division championship and 11 wins, I think you should be appreciative.
Yeah.
A lot of cities would be really happy with 11 wins. Some talk show hosts here in town are more happy with 11 wins in a division championship.
I'm not happy with it.
No, I'm not either.
All right, real quick. Have you guys been following the latest betting scandal in college basketball?
I don't really know what it is. Something with like Kent State or
Yeah, it's more in-game Guys were messing with
point
shaving.
It's point shaving. It's not fixing games. It's fixing more personal stats.
There was an egregious video that somebody posted in January of 2024, and all they tweeted out was speechless. Not like, oh, my God, this guy must have had the spread.
Right.
He went back and retweeted saying, I guess I was onto something, because it was one of the teams that was involved in a game between DePaul and Butler, I think it was. They're shooting free throws at the game's over, right? They're fouling the team.
Done.
Guy misses a free throw, and the guy that rebounded it bounced it to the ref out of bounds. As if like, I thought he made it. Let me bounce it to the referee for the inbound pass. And you're going, that's one of the teams that got pinched, or one of the players that got pinched. I want to read you a text exchange that the FBI, because you never want to put this stuff on text messages.
Come on now.
On or about March 4th of 2024, around halftime of a game between South Carolina State and Coppin State, when the score of the game was tied, defendant Jalen Smith texted person number 13. Defendant Smith expressed his concern about the score of the game and urged person number 13 to underperform in the second half so that South Carolina State would cover the spread. What the F are you doing? It needs to be a blowout. You're hooping your you-know-what off. What the bleep? You're supposed to be bleeping losing. You're costing us money. Get your rear end blown out next half, bro. Person number 13 responded to defendant Smith in a text message after the game and explained that South Carolina State was playing so poorly that it was difficult for person 13 to ensure that Coppin State would lose the game by more than the point spread.
It's incredible.
Why are you guys putting this in text message?
So stupid.
A, why are you doing it? B, how dumb can you be?
You could be very dumb.
My God.
Holy Tim Donaghy, bad man.
I'm sorry for that, bro. I tried to tell my teammates to chill. I swear I tried everything in my power.
Which means that a bunch of teammates are in on it.
Uh-huh. Dangerous stuff, man. Dangerous.
Don't they realize that the amount of action on a lousy game like that gets the attention?
Yeah. By the way, didn't they just allow college athletes to gamble?
It's amazing.
Coming up next, we have today's headlines with Connor Thomas. But before that, Nick was asked about the future of Kevin Petullo. Will he still be on the staff? Hear him next. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Sports talk doesn't stop. Hey, we mentioned it a lot on Tuesday. I've yet to mention it today. Fridays with Fadul. If you missed the announcement on Tuesday, Amy Fadul expanding her role here on the show. Usually she would join us Tuesdays for the 9 o'clock hour. She will now join us every Tuesday for 2 hours. 2 hours on Tuesdays from 8 to 10. Also Fridays with Fadul. So Amy will be with us for the rest of the show starting at 8 o'clock. So 2 hours with Amy Fadul today. We will do Ask Me Amy thing. Something that we wanted to start doing on a weekly basis. Now that she's with us 2 times a week, it's awesome. We'll do that around 9:48 on this Friday morning. So you can start texting in your Ask Me Amy thing questions to Connor, 610-632-0975. The sooner the better, because he can put them aside, and then he can have them ready for that segment. So Ask Me Amy thing coming on at the end of the show in the 9 o'clock hour, but Amy joins us to start the 8 o'clock hour. Looking forward to it. Excited for more Amy Fadul here on the show, John.
Sounds great.
Absolutely.
Look forward to it.
All right. Before we get to today's headlines with Connor Thomas, I want to play the very short clip from Nick Sirianni. One of the very few times where Cat got his tongue. He could not speak enough. Here he was yesterday being asked about Kevin Patullo, because remember, the statement originally was that Patullo was no longer the offensive coordinator, but wording, Mike Garafolo pointing it out, hey, look at the wording. Doesn't mean he's not still with the Eagles staff. I would find that weird for Patullo himself to stick around. Like, pride, I think, is a factor. But whatever. This was Nick Sirianni being asked about Kevin Patullo if he'll still be on the staff.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I know Kevin's going to have other opportunities, and obviously always want what's best for Kevin and for his family. And so we'll see how that plays out.
He loves that man.
He loves him. And guess what? We all admire the fact that Nick Sirianni is loyal to a buddy and everything like that. But it was to the detriment of an organization.
Yeah. Fortunately, only one season. But it sucks that it's this window.
We're not mocking the way he loves, he loves his buddy.
Yeah.
But it was a disastrous decision to do that.
I don't think it's crazy that Nick would want to keep him around. I think it'd be crazy for Kevin to want to stick around. That's how I look at it.
From what I've been told, he's going to have opportunities.
Right.
That there will be other coaches that will absolutely. He's not going to be a coordinator again.
Right.
Not right, or at least not right away. But
good luck. Good luck to you. All right. Time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
And it's brought to us by Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. We'll start off with a 5-game losing streak and not going well for the Philadelphia Flyers. Here is the final call of last night's loss in Pittsburgh.
10 seconds left. Crosby with a goal and an assist. The Penguins are going to improve to 9-0-2 in their last 11 home games here in Pittsburgh against the Flyers as the Penguins beat Philadelphia 6-3. The Flyers winless now in 5, 0-4-1.
Where's the panic level at right now?
Well, we're being blamed for it, by the way.
Who is?
Because ever since we went.
when we went as a show, they have gone.
It was the Great Ducks win.
They've gone 0-4-1.
That doesn't work if they win the game you go to.
Well, I was going to say, I said, don't blame me. That was my 5th game of the year, so I can't be blamed for that. I'm 2-2 in my game.
I think what they're saying is we need to continue to go as a show.
Well, that might.
Maybe that's what it is.
That could be if it was positive like that.
Yeah.
Look, I said it before. Sam Ersland, you can't win with him. You can't win with him.
Yeah,
so, I mean, and Dan Vladar, the injury is not that bad, but he may not be ready till the road trip next week, which is brutal. This thing may not get better. And it's one of the warnings I had just a week or so ago. I didn't think it was going to go this bad, but I said, everybody was saying, yeah, Flyers are a playoff team. Flyers are a playoff team. It was way too premature. Way premature.
Yeah, Vladar, 90% save percentage this year. Urson, 85%.
Urson is the worst
in 9 less games.
How about this? He's the Jake Elliott of he's the Jake Elliott of goalies. He's the worst of all the starting goalies, of any goalie in the NHL.
Not great.
Not ideal.
What else we got?
Here's something that's nice. Who needs Kyle Tucker, though, when you can sign Francisco Renteria? We mentioned it earlier on in the show. The Phillies making a big play in the international player pool market, signing Francisco Renteria, 17-year-old outfielder, to a $4 million deal. So that ties an international amateur franchise record, and Baseball America ranks him as number 2 in this international class. Just a point of information for everybody out there, because not only were people, just random people on social media, getting it wrong, some insiders got it wrong. He's not related to Edgar Renteria.
I saw that.
but he is reportedly a player. So I'm talking to someone in baseball yesterday. They have to put weight on him. He's a big boy already, but they think they're going to be able to put weight on him.
6'3", 200 pounds already.
And he is a guy who is they think he's going to be a beast. Think like Yankee size.
Sure.
And he is expected to be a beast. And as I told you, I was told yesterday. So think of Cooper Salciunas.
Yeah.
And your grandchildren, Andrew.
Yeah.
And Connor, I was told, are going to be talking about this young man.
They'll also still be watching Bryce Harper and Trey Turner.
Yeah, because the contracts they like to sign these guys to. That's great.
The beauty of this is, we talked about it earlier, we'll mention it again. 2 things will happen at the same time. Hell will freeze over, and the Phillies will develop 2 outfielders.
I think this is, though, I know, look, we love to mock this stuff. I think this is a day to celebrate.
Yeah.
Because this is big news. I mean, this is a opposing baseball person telling me Phillies.
Just hope it's not another Jalen Ortiz.
That the Phillies have gotten a guy
that was another guy to get excited.
Well, you're Mr. I hate every prospect. So
reportedly 13 to 14 teams were seriously in on him.
I'd trade him now for Jazz Chisholm.
We're seriously in on him.
You're an idiot. All right, good job, Connor. By the way, Connor, I was thinking of you during the break. I know you know how much I love Lithuania. And I'm sure you would love to visit it one day. I could see you having a good time in Lithuania.
I have a good time everywhere.
You Connor could find a good time.
Yeah, you specifically would have a good time. You would not right now.
Why?
Negative 11 degrees.
Oh, my gosh.
No, screw that.
Fahrenheit.
By the way, you're hearing what we're getting next week, right?
What, a big colossal snowstorm?
No, but we are potentially going to have a hard time next week at one point hitting 0.
Oh, boy. I did not know that.
Today I was already ready to not get out of bed for the rest of the winter.
We are talking about really low temperatures next week.
Find a new producer. I'm moving.
Really low temperatures.
Oh, boy.
Which is going to be wild, so it'll be fun.
That doesn't sound fun.
Really cold.
You know what is fun? Fridays with Fadul.
That's fun.
Amy Fadul, she's already ready to go. She'll join us next segment for the remainder of the show.
She's already here, too.
We'll get her thoughts on who benefits more from the quote-unquote perfect situation, Nick Sirianni or Jalen Hurts. We'll play some clips from Nick Sirianni's press conference yesterday, state of the offensive coordinator position that will not be given to a friend. It is Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
How involved in the offense? I'm Connor Thomas, and that was one of the questions asked to Nick Sirianni as he and Howie Roseman met with media yesterday for their year-end presser after the Eagles season ended against the Niners in the wildcard round. There was a lot to get into, but one of those focal points was asking Nick Sirianni about his involvement level in the offense. Here's what he had to say.
As the head coach, you always have to be oversight of everything. Again, many different ways to do it. I think it's best for the football team when I'm the head football coach. So, we'll see where all that goes as far as that goes.
We'll also see where the offensive coordinator hiring process goes. That's the next piece of the puzzle for the Birds. We'll keep you updated on that coaching search as it continues. Flyers fell to the Penguins 6-3, extending their losing streak to 5 games. They're off until tomorrow. Sixers host the Cavs tonight, 7 p.m. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And in baseball, the Dodgers, another big signing. Stop me if you've heard that one before. Kyle Tucker agrees to a 4-year deal. The 4-time All-Star now joins the defending champs. Amy Fadul joins the guys coming up next. She'll be with us for the remainder of the show. This update's brought to you by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
I'm on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, the Fanatic on this unfortunate Eagle-less Football Friday, presented to us by our friends at Norristown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Driving a great deals at the winter sales event at Norristown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and get freaking good deals all month long on a Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram. Visit NorristownChryslerDodge.com. It is now time for Fridays with Fadul. Welcome in, Amy.
Hi, everyone.
Are you going to be able to handle this? Because this is now your second day of the week with us.
Yeah, we'll see. It's the first week of two-a-days or 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks with Amy Fadul.
So we'll see. 2 hours.
Are you going to tell us you work hard like Nick Sirianni?
I mean, I do.
I work hard.
You do work. You do work hard.
They work hard. When I see you on TV late at night, I feel bad for you.
Why?
Because
watching
I'll
sports
see you.
for a
No,
living.
but I'll say I got you. But sometimes the late
Oh,
night
because
ones.
you're thinking
I'm
that woman
she
has
has
other
to be
stuff
up
to
there.
do.
Right, she's got to be mom in the morning too.
Mom in the morning's a big part of that one too.
Made the lunches this morning before I left.
There you go.
So Amy, obviously we have been talking a lot about the Philadelphia Eagles and reacting to some of the press conference yesterday. We'll play a couple more clips for you all listening on the show. But curious, I want to get your thoughts on our topic today. So our main topic this morning. On Tuesday, and you were in with us on Tuesday, if you remember, we did the take logic out of the conversation with Nick Sirianni. If you could just pick up Nick Sirianni and put him over here and then pick somebody else up and replace him, would you do it? And my immediate answer is taking logic out of it, yes, because I would like to be able to feel comfortable that if my offense is spiraling, the guy that runs the show will be able to fix it. And Nick Sirianni has shown that in 2 years now, when the offense needs fixing, he was unable to fix it. He had no tools. He did not go to Lowe's or Home Depot, wherever your home improvement store is. He did not make that trip. He just said, somebody else will try to fix it for me.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Don't worry. We'll put some duct tape on it.
I call people.
Yeah, well, and you could do. He didn't do that either.
He didn't call. He
didn't call anybody. He could have
did
called
not
people.
outsource it.
He did not.
But he didn't. And then we did the same topic on Thursday with Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
You take logic out of the conversation. Would you pick up Jalen Hurts and put him over here and then put somebody else at the helm? We did try to add some logic to the conversation because we were like, who is it that you would replace him with? The Sirianni thing, you can actually point to Stefanski, like he's an available head coach.
There's options.
It's Tanner McKee, or you're trading for a backup, or you're drafting probably not that great of a quarterback in a championship window. So we asked this question today. Who benefits more from the quote-unquote perfect situation? Coordinators, roster. Is it Nick Sirianni as the head coach, or is it Jalen, even though it's more specifically one side of the ball, but we've also seen his play rise when everybody else is playing well and being coached well?
Yeah, it's interesting. I heard you guys talking about that, and I thought, I had a quick answer, and I was like, oh, obviously Jalen. And I thought, oh, is it Jalen, though? Because Nick Sirianni would obviously benefit well, because then he could go into his role, and we heard him talk the other day, or yesterday. My job is a head coach. I'm a head coach. He said that phrase, head coach, 55 times. Just re-emphasizing that he is the overseer of everything.
Because that's what he said after Kellen Moore got hired.
Correct. I'm the head coach. I oversee everything. I'm the head coach. It's on me. I'm the head coach. So the more I thought about it, for me, it's Nick Sirianni, because it enables him to do his actual job. And he doesn't have to worry about the other stuff, because we have seen him not navigate that successfully this past season.
Now, what made you immediately say Jalen, though? Because the three of us, we all said Sirianni like that.
Well,
like
first
when
I
I
thought,
came up with the topic, it was Nick. When I said it to John, it was Nick. Connor said Nick.
Yeah. My first thought was absolutely Jalen Hurts. And I was like, oh, who's going to benefit the most is the guy that's going to be running the show for them. Because he's had, whatever, we always talk about it, 7 different coordinators or whatever, but he needs that kind of direction. Yeah. He needs somebody to rely upon to call the plays for him, right? And to tell him, and that's not to say that he can't call the plays, but he needs to have that kind of structure. Most quarterbacks do. You need to give them an offense so they can run it. He hasn't had the offense. When he did have the offense, he did well. So I thought, well, he would benefit the most. But then when I thought about it longer as I was driving in, I thought, no, it's Nick Sirianni.
Right. When I heard that press conference yesterday,
he's a head coach.
Yeah, and I kept hearing him say that. It was Nick Sirianni wanting to remind all of us, I'm not being demoted.
Right.
I'm not being demoted here.
Yeah, this isn't.
This is still my show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm still. it sounded very defensive and everything. And I am totally want Nick back next year.
Well,
totally do. But I want
get
Nick
it, though.
back. I want Nick back for next year.
Yeah, I get
And that's
why
it.
he's defensive. I mean, people were calling for his job halfway through this season. Let's be honest.
I understand why, though.
Yeah.
Like I do, even though I'm not one of them.
Right.
I understand why.
And he
people
brings a lot
are.
of it on himself.
He does.
By the way, can I say something that I was thinking about when I was listening to the press conference yesterday?
What was that?
He was on his best behavior yesterday. And was it because
There's a gentleman next to him.
Boss Man was next to him? Because we have heard when he's had his feet to the fire,
He can be a little contentious.
he gets snarky, right? And I get it. When
I totally get it.
3 days a week, right? The Sunday post game, Monday, Wednesday, for 4 days a week. 4 days a week.
Right.
Having to deal with people like us.
And most of the questions are why something's not working.
Right.
Not, hey, why something's going well.
Hey,
So-
you hired your friend. He's not
Yeah.
good. What's
So
up with
I
that?
get it. I get it. You're gonna get snarky, especially after an 18-week season. But he was on his best behavior yesterday.
And he didn't, and I will give him credit yesterday, he did not do a lot of, Nick Sirianni likes to go to the resume.
Right.
Which a lot of people do is go to the resume of success, of the past success. Yesterday, he stuck to, I'm the head coach. Here's what I'm going to do. And the thing is, I don't know that Nick understands this, and I hope he does, because I know that occasionally he has been known to tune into this show. And if he's driving across, I'm sure he's already
He
at
quoted
work.
you once.
I'm sure he drives through. We're all rooting for him to have wild success.
Yeah, that's the thing. No one's rooting against
We
him.
want him to be successful. We want him to be wildly successful. And I don't know, when I hear him talk, I don't know that he understands.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
know what? I think he gets offended by a topic like today that we're talking
'Cause
about
it's like
who
questioning.
benefits more
Right.
from the perfect situation. Like, can Nick Sirianni win if he doesn't have the perfect
How would he?
situation?
No. Well, how would he answer the question? If it
I
was
think
just
he
the
would say
question-
Jalen Hurts.
Okay. Let's role play.
Yeah, because I
How
think
would he-
he.
how would
I
he-
think he would say Jalen Hurts because should I?
Yeah,
bring up
do it.
Mount-
Like you're Nick
when I was
Sirianni.
at Mount
your
Union,
answer.
you guys. I didn't know if you knew I played wide receiver. No, but I think he would. I think he would say because in his mind, his role is just I'm there as the overall leader, and so I'm going to choose somebody that's going to benefit my team the best. Do I need that guy's help? Maybe a little bit, but I think that guy is there to help everybody else. I think he views it as the coordinator. That decision, the perfect situation, will help Jalen Hurts become who he has been and who we've seen him be, and that he is just the guy that, dots the T's and crosses the I's.
There you go.
Okay, fair enough. So we have some clips for you to play from Nick Sirianni during his press conference yesterday. Let's start with the decision to remove Kevin Patullo from the offensive coordinator. Again, there's a big difference from the ChatGPT written statement that was posted the other day to what you're going to hear from Nick Sirianni right now.
I think it's important that we continue to evolve as an offense and that we go out and do what's best for this football team. And again, everything that I do and every decision I have to make, I have to do that with what's in mind, with just like Howie does, just like Mr. Lurie does, with the intent of being the best thing for the football team. And at this particular point, I love Kevin and everything that he has provided to this coaching staff for his 5 years here. Big reason why we've won a lot of football games. But at this particular point, I just felt like that's what I needed to do to be the best thing for the football team.
I'm starting to get angrier the more I hear that clip.
Because he's acting like he made the decision.
Well, not just that. You're right. Not just that, but when he says, at this moment, I think this is what the best decision was for the team. What about the entire season when your offense sucked? What about, even more so, we talked about this earlier, John, but I'm curious to get your thoughts on it, Amy, now that you're with us. Last year, was it really best for the organization to say, all right, we're going to interview two people, and one of them's Kevin, and it's Kevin's job? Because remember, Jeremy Fowler's of the world, everybody on ESPN was saying, yeah, it's going to be Kevin Patullo.
Right.
It would be a
the
surprise.
worst kept secret.
Yeah, it would be a
Foregone
surprise
conclusion.
if it was anyone else. So you're saying on January 15th of 2026, after the horrible season that you had, where you won 11 games, lost in the first round of the playoffs, to your standards, it was a horrible season. You're saying it's best for us to move on from Kevin Patullo. And yet 11 months ago, it was not best for the organization to really think, is this the best hire? Because I don't think that ever went through their mind. I think it was, all right, we won the Super Bowl. We don't have much time. OTA's right around the corner. Let's just promote from within.
This guy's good.
He's been here. He was on the sideline. He worked next to Kevin Patullo, or next to Kellen Moore. He knows the way this offense works, but we don't know if he can actually call plays. There is an art to it. We don't know that. He had no data to say that. He could not tell you. He could not look you in the eyes in February of 2025 and say, I know that Kevin Patullo will have the art of calling plays down. And so was that really what was best for the team 11 months ago?
I don't even think it was best for the team 3 months ago.
Right.
I mean, you're in the middle of the season. So when he says at this point, I'm like, what about in week 4? What about in week 6? At some point, like, you have to evaluate what they always say that every press conference, right? You always hear Nick Sirianni, it's constantly evaluating.
Yeah.
So if you're constantly evaluating, how did it come to this point at the end of the season where it was something you obviously recognized 4 weeks in, 7 weeks in, 12 weeks in? Like that to me, like, is more egregious. And I hate the argument of, well, we hired Kevin Patullo because there wasn't a lot of time or options. Well, that's just dumb.
That's a joke.
That's just dumb.
John says it all the time. You could have gone to any college.
Any of the
There's
college
so-
ranks, there's so many great college names.
And it's not just about like calling plays. It's about remember when Kellen Moore started, you had the press conference. He's like, listen, I've looked at this book. I'm going to take some things from it, but I've got he has his own ideas. And you could have found a passing coordinator somewhere that could have come and had some kind of meeting and been like, hey, here's what I've got. Here's the plays that I work with. Here's how I tweak this offense for you. That's how interviews work in the football world, right? You bring your stuff to the table. I don't know that Kevin Patullo had to do that because they're like, oh, well, he already knows our stuff, so he's just going to run that.
They could have brought on somebody, as Amy just points out there, somebody to assist Kevin Patullo that had a lot of experience at the college level. A young creative mind.
Create plays.
So that way,
there's guys out there all the time.
There's bolstered with that.
Liam Cohen.
And I mean,
he was the offensive coordinator at Kentucky, for Pete's sake.
I had people yesterday that were just in my mentions all day long going, the college guys. Oh my gosh! Like why are you thinking college guys? Why would you want to
look at Jacksonville? Where'd that guy come from?
There's tons of college guys that have been successful in the NFL. This city doesn't watch enough college football.
Yeah, we're not talking about being a head coach. I think a lot of people.
We're not talking about Chip Kelly.
Yeah, I think they equate college coach to being a head coach, and sometimes that does not work. Actually, more often than not, it doesn't.
More often.
It does.
But I feel like the way that the college game is run nowadays, if you watch college football, it used to be like, oh, that guy's good because he's an NFL style, coordinator. They're all NFL style coordinators now, especially when you look at the high level. Those guys all run an NFL style. Yeah, so why not go one of those guys and say, hey, we got this new OC. We need you to come in as our passing coordinator.
Like Thomas,
call it plays.
Thomas Mott's one of those Eagles, does some Eagles coverage, does a nice
things
job.
From people, but go ahead.
And he says, well, I want an experienced NFL play caller when they're talking about Charlie Weiss Jr.'s name. And I'm like, tell me you don't know college football without telling me you don't know college football. Charlie Weiss Jr. is one of the brightest. He is like a Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan of college football.
Sure.
And he goes, well, I want an experienced NFL play caller. I said, what do you even mean by that?
How do you get the experience?
And he says, I think college football players' plays and schemes and play calling are very different than the NFL.
No. See,
and I said, well, then you wouldn't have hired Matt LaFleur, Todd Monken, Mike LaFleur, that Nathan Sealchase, Declan Doyle. There's so many college names. You wouldn't have brought in Pete Carroll. You wouldn't have brought in Jim Harbaugh. You wouldn't have it's ridiculous. Like, people don't there's something about the idea is like, well, college, no, there's no difference.
By the way, play calling
understand it.
Play calling's play calling.
Play calling is play calling.
Knowing what to call on second down on 1st and 10 is an important thing.
It's don't have it. Look,
or 4th and 11.
Chip Kelly left a bad taste in a lot of people's
because he was
mouth.
the head coach.
And right, exactly. You're bringing in someone to be an offensive coordinator from college that is one of the brightest minds. By the way, Charlie Weiss Jr. is a name. It would be a freaking great name here, and he will end up being a Shanahan, McVay, one of those kind of guys that will be on a tree that people will be looking at. It's just a matter of which team gives him.
Dad was a good coordinator.
Damn right.
No, great coordinator. Not a good head coach though.
Nope.
As you say, there you go.
We'll get back to our text line here momentarily. Later on in the press conference yesterday, Nick was asked about inside hires because let's face it, you've hired 2 offensive coordinators from within. Brian Johnson, disaster. And then, of course, Kevin Patullo, even worse. Here was Nick Sirianni talking about inside hires.
Yeah, you're always thinking about that. You're always thinking about that of can you do that? Because the reason usually, I guess, two of the instances we've had guys that gotten head coaching jobs and you get a head coaching job because you've had success on that side of the football. And so of course you want to be able to do that and elevate when you can and when you think it's the right fit. But I don't think you don't have to do that every time. Again, I know we have, but it doesn't have to work out that way. Right. And you just, every season is a little different of a situation and where you think if a guy can elevate and go into the spot, or if you don't think that, then you may have to go outside to do that. And so again, you try to, as you asked Howie that question, I think somebody asked Howie that question too. It's like, we're doing everything we can do to win now. And of course, my job as a coach, and I take this very seriously, is to try to develop coaches as much as I can to help them reach their goals, just like I want to do with the players on our team. And so you'll try to develop and you'll try to do all those different things. But we have a win now mode and we have a win now team.
The thing that I just questioned, like when he talks about if we don't think it's the best person for the job, we will go to the outside. So you mean to tell me?
I mean, you finally learned?
In February of 2025, when everybody had the green colored glasses because the Eagles won the Super Bowl and they deserve that party. They deserve that recognition. In like a 2-week span, you realized he was the best guy for the job. I'm just taking Nick Sirianni at his words. He said, unless it's the best guy for the job, then we'll go to the outside. So he thought Petula was the best guy for the job.
Clearly, he did.
And
I
it was
think
a horrible read.
Then that tells me he has swung and missed twice.
Yeah, 0 for 2.
On evaluating, saying.
Brian Johnson, I feel like you put a little bit
Phillies.
more on the Jalen Hurts relationship. I think that was the easy pick. I don't know that he would say that.
Have you heard, from what you've heard, that Jalen was really pushing for Brian Johnson? Or because from what I've been told, he was a supporter, but he was not vocally saying, hire him, hire him, hire him.
First of all, can you picture Jalen being
exactly.
any?
No.
He could have his mom out there interviewing, and he'd be like, "Yeah, if you like her, that's
What's
fine.
my mom done?
I'll support that." Yeah, I think it was more like, "That's a good idea, Jalen. What do you think?" Yeah, obviously I have a great relationship with Brian. I'm thinking it was more like that rather than like, I can't imagine Jalen Hurts stumping for anybody.
That's a good point. All right, what do we got on there?
Even himself. He's critical of himself, too. So.
Get us a couple of texts, Connor. And then this college basketball betting scandal. LaSalle is mentioned. But
Mentioned.
What do we got?
All right, so this texter talks about the Sirianni Hurts thing. First-time texter here, so we appreciate them joining. And they say, I would rather have Jalen Hurts in the perfect situation because of what he's done for this team. He's taken the Eagles to 2 Super Bowls, won one, and the other he should have won if the defense played. When his situations are good, he's great.
So he's saying Jalen.
He's saying he'd rather have Jalen, I guess, on the team. I think that's Nick Sirianni needs more help.
So he's saying Nick needs more help. Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, I would. That's what I agree.
It's like a check and balance.
Jalen Hurts doesn't stink. That's what I always say. I'll keep on going back to that. Like during the season when people started pointing the finger at Jalen Hurts, like I kept on saying he doesn't stink.
No,
I can't imagine that. In February he played incredible. In January he played incredible.
He didn't forget how to play
all of a sudden
football.
he stinks.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, look, I always point out his limitations, and I point out that there are certain quarterbacks that I would love to see more. Right, but like that's. In Madden, when I do force trade on, right? Like, I can't do that. Yeah. I'm happy with Jalen Hurts as the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not happy with Nick Sirianni not having an idea on how to fix the offense when there's issues. What else we got?
All right, we also have a check-in from DJ Milk D down in Virginia who says, Nick is a joke. If you cared so much for the team, you wouldn't have recommended your buddy who was unqualified. Nick needs the perfect situation to be successful, not Hurts.
I don't see, no, where I'm going to disagree with that is I don't believe for 1 second that Nick Sirianni said, I'm promoting a guy who I know is going to fail. I think he thought, I hope he's going to do well. And I believe he has the opportunity to do well, and I'm going to do everything I can to try to help him. And it just didn't work.
He thought a lot. A lot of people thought when you look at this offense, you thought, how hard could that be?
How hard can it be? Yeah, and he
got
found
A.J.
out that
Brown,
it was. Exactly.
Saquon Barkley, Devontae.
Exactly.
How hard could this be?
Exactly.
I remember that
Everybody
this
played
summer.
worse.
We were talking about this, like, who are you most concerned about, right? Is it the offense or defense? And people be like, why are you concerned about the offense? This was the outside noise because it was like, how hard could this possibly be? You heard that nationally all the time. Why do you even need a coordinator? You have A.J. Brown and
You
Devontae
can always
Smith.
find ways to mess
Well,
things up.
now we know, everyone.
All right. By the way, the betting scandal. So LaSalle gets mentioned in it.
Yep. You got to say why they got mentioned.
Yes.
Why did they get mentioned?
February of 2024. The Fixers.
It was good, actually.
Is
for
what they're
LaSalle.
calling
It's
them.
good. It's good
The
for
Fixers
LaSalle.
that include defendant Jalen Smith, who I mentioned, and Antonio Blakeney, attempted to recruit for their point-shaving scheme players on the LaSalle University Explorers men's basketball team. In February, they were playing the Bonnie, St. Bonaventure.
Mm-hmm.
And before the game tipped off, it was a 5.5-point spread in the first half. The Fixers, including also Marvis Fairley and Shane Hennon and others acting at their direction, placed wagers with various sports books totaling to at least approximately $247,000
They're going to prison.
on the Bonnies to cover the first half spread of 5.5.
LaSalle kids said.
LaSalle
Nah.
covered. They covered the 5.5
It was an
point
unsuccessful
spread.
recruitment.
So
LaSalle
not
kids were like,
only-
not a chance, dude.
Not
That's
only
excellent.
were these guys doing things illegally, they also lost.
That's great. The LaSalle Explorers, that's it. That is
They said
kudos
no.
to LaSalle.
They said no. They tried to
Big
recruit
five.
the kids.
Big
That's
five
excellent.
is still strong,
Fran
baby.
Dunphy was
but
like,
that's-
not on my watch.
By the way, that number's really bad for those gentlemen involved in that. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
really bad. That's $250,000.
But that's just one of them.
That's just one game.
I know,
That's
I know.
one
I mean,
first
it's
half
like
spread.
millions.
Those
Yeah.
guys are going to
Oh,
federal
yeah.
prison.
Man.
The
All right.
federal government on things like
They're
this.
in big trouble.
They got receipts.
Coming up next, what is the plan for Howie Roseman with this roster and planning for the future? You'll hear that next, and we will get Amy's thoughts on how Howie Roseman speaks versus Dave Dombrowski. It is Kincade and Salciunas. Amy with us, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Not good enough for Howie. I'm Connor Thomas, and, well, I don't think this Eagles season was good enough for anyone, but Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni met with the media yesterday for their year-end presser after the Eagles season came to a close in the wild card round. And there was plenty to get into, but Howie was talking about what he felt about the success level of this season.
You know, if it doesn't end with confetti falling on our head, I don't feel like it's good enough. I know that we're not going to win the Super Bowl every year, but I believe we can, you know, and I go into every offseason thinking we're going to do whatever it takes to win a Super Bowl, and when we fall short, I look to improve.
Obviously, the motivation is there. One of the spots that needs to be improved is offensive coordinator. It's currently vacant after the organization moved on from Kevin Patullo in that role. Who will fill that spot? We'll keep you updated on the coaching search as it continues. Flyers fell to the Penguins 6-3 last night. Their losing streak is now at 5 games. They need to find a way to get off the schneid. They're off till tomorrow. Sixers host the Cavs tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And in baseball, the Dodgers have signed 4-time All-Star Kyle Tucker to a 4-year deal. The defending champions add another star to their star-studded roster. Amy Fadul stays with the guys for the remainder of the show. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
97.5, The Fanatic. Expanded role for Amy Fadul. Joins us for 2 hours on Tuesdays. Now also Fridays with Fadul from 8 to 10. We do Ask Me Amy things. So ask me anything questions. Send them in. 610-632-0975 via the text line. Connor will set them aside. So send them in now. We would appreciate it. And Connor will ask Amy these questions around 9:48 this morning. Could be anything. Now, Connor will, vet the weird ones out. Could be anything, though. Ask Me Amy thing coming up 9:48 this morning. Text them in now, 610-632-0975. Real quick before we play how Howie Roseman speaks versus how Dave Dombrowski speaks. Dave Dombrowski could make me feel a lot better. Can we please have the music once more, Connor? We're on Baywatch. Theme of Baywatch, in case you didn't know.
I think Amy watched a little Baywatch in her day.
Were you a Baywatch fan?
She may have liked David Charvet.
Which one was that?
David Chokachi. You don't know all the stars of Baywatch?
I don't know their names.
I know David Hasselhoff and Pamela Anderson.
There you go.
You're a little young for Baywatch.
Yeah.
Those are the only two I know.
I'm sure I would recognize
David
who they
Hasselhoff.
are.
David.
You don't hassle the Hoff.
David.
So.
There was Chokachi. There was Charvet. There was Hasselhoff. They had all the Davids.
Ah, okay.
Billy
Right.
Warlock.
I'll have to look up who these people are. I'm sure I would recognize their
You would
faces.
recognize
Yes,
them.
I just don't know their names.
So we're on Baywatch. And, of course, last night, the big news that Kyle Tucker got the 4-year, $240 million contract by the Dodgers.
Wild.
What a
$60
joke.
million.
$60 million a year.
What a joke.
And the Dodgers can afford it.
Of course they can.
They have no problem. And you know what? Good credit to them that they go, we can afford it, so we will do it.
You wonder why they can, though.
We've won 2 World Series. We will continue to try to win.
That's Shohei deal.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
That's never going to happen again. But
They are brilliant. Well, that's why we're going to have a lockout. That's why we're not going to have baseball in 2027.
Yeah, that's why. Exactly. That's why it's going to change
Thanks,
things.
Dodger.
But obviously, the Dodgers signing Kyle Tucker, they could probably afford Bo Bichette, but I would imagine that takes them out of the Bo Bichette sweepstakes.
one would think.
So really, the teams that are still remaining are the Phillies, the Toronto Blue Jays, the New York Mets, and the Boston Red Sox. Those have been the reported teams.
Right.
Boston signs Ranger Suarez 5/130.
Boston, the money that they did not spend on bringing back Bregman went to Ranger.
So I think they're out.
I think they're out. I don't think they're in the mix.
And then Bob Nightingale tweeted out at 12:15 this morning saying the Phillies are the overwhelming favorites to acquire
Did you hear that,
Bo
John
Bichette.
Kincade?
And he also mentioned
I was here
that
with you on Tuesday.
Yankees Mets are all in on Cody Bellinger. So the Mets, one of the teams that have been mentioned, the Yankees, one of the teams that have been mentioned, are facing Cody Bellinger as their top guy. Mr. Propeller Hat over there, he said he'd wear it 2 straight days.
He wears 2 straight days. Hey,
this gentleman next to me.
Don't worry.
We were here.
We were here,
I don't
Amy.
believe- no, I
and
don't
you were
believe-
saying the Red Sox and the
No, I'm
Dodgers,
saying,
and I said,
is
I
that
don't
look?
care.
It says, well, once wait a minute though. Now the Red
don't
Sox went and
care.
got Rangers, so they spent the money on Ranger,
Still do.
and which I never. By the way, I still can't believe they gave Ranger $150 million. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous.
All I
contract.
know is
You see,
Amy and
and
I
I
were always
love
their
Ranger
lineup is
believers
pretty
in
And I
Bo
love
Bichette.
Ranger.
We said it.
But to me, the idea is that the Phillies will now I will do the mental gymnastics of watching Dave Dombrowski bid against himself and run up the price on Bo Bichette, because who is he bidding against? He'll run up the price.
Well, what,
The Yankees do every year.
5 for 200's kind of been the talk.
That's sort of been chopped around,
So
from some people.
If he gets 5 for 200, he's not bidding against anyone.
This money-
Or he's not bidding against
I
himself.
love when we talk about these figures. They're so astronomical. Like it is
For baseball.
it is out of control.
By the way, you're paying 5 for 200 for your kids to play baseball,
Yeah.
and Bo Bichette's getting paid 5 for 200.
It's unbelievable.
That's where your money's actually going to. It's not to the
Unbelievable.
local
For
little
travel ball
leagues.
and
It's
stuff?
it's to Bo. It's to Bo
we're
Bichette.
we're in.
You're not in travel ball yet. Right?
Yeah, we are.
Oh no!
Yeah, of course.
God
travel ball
forbid.
starts. Coop's going to
If
be
they
doing
can,
travel
I was
ball
say, they
T-ball
can start it
soon.
whenever they want. But
I
yeah, we're
played
in
at
the
8.
we're in the beginning of it. Part of it.
By the
yeah.
way, Coop plays
Small-
T-ball
small
this
travel,
year. Big
travel
year.
baseball, travel basketball.
All right.
kinds of stuff.
So Dave Dombrowski could make me feel a little bit better. But I still will rip Dave Dombrowski for his comments in October where he was just like, we were a couple plays away. If we beat the Dodgers, we would have beaten the Brewers and the Blue Jays. Like, that's how he made it seem. Like, he felt comfortable saying if we beat the Dodgers, we would have won the World Series. But we're a good club. We won 96 games. What's there to be unhappy about? We gave you a good summer, people.
It was such a bad press conference, and then Howie's yesterday to me was such a great one.
This was Howie Roseman yesterday. There were a lot of
Howie's
clips
first day.
that we could choose from.
Well, Dave's been around forever.
Right. But let's remember the arc of Howie, right? Howie, he would have had that press conference before he was banished by Chip.
Okay.
And then I think now he would not have that press conference.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
He's also had a Super Bowl
Plus
since
the pedigree of 2 rings.
then. Right.
Right.
You know, he has a Super Bowl.
Dombrowski's got
But Dave
pedigree.
Dombrowski's got pedigree.
It does. I think they're two different
Dave
humans.
Dombrowski
but
was a GM when I
could hear Howie Roseman having that type of press conference early on in his tenure here. Not to say that Dombrowski, I don't think he's ever going to have a different one, but I feel like Howie has evolved.
He made you feel like they had a good season last year, getting bounced in the
Absolutely.
first round of the playoffs.
It was a fun summer.
And so here was Howie yesterday, because he had the chance at the end to sort of, tell you what their plan is now and in the future, but also hear just his urgency and the message that he's giving to Eagles fans.
Can I clarify one thing? Because I think it's important for our fans to understand. You can do whatever it takes to win now and still build for the future and still have those parallel paths. I just don't want it to get confused that we can't do whatever it takes to build a championship caliber team next year and also continue to have really good players on this team for the future. So, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
I got none of that from Dombrowski. I hate Nick Castellanos, I think is a quote that came from Dave Dombrowski. I may be misquoting him a little bit.
General vibe.
But I believe he said something to the extent of, I hate Nick Castellanos if Trey Turner makes a play and Brandon Marsh is a 5-hole hitter because he's really good.
Yeah.
That's what I got out of his press conference.
There was a lot of, something with JT too. I forget. I don't remember. There was something. But there was just so many excuses.
So many excuses. We did do ground ball practice. Matt Strom
there's just always an excuse.
It's unbelievable. And then remember,
we should be happy.
Remember, he was saying, "Oh yeah, Crawford's major league ready." It's like, oh, then how come he didn't play in the major leagues?
You got to make room. If he's major league ready, you make room for him.
By the way, we never talked about it. Max Kepler getting pinched. Hey, Connor,
you got fired on your day off.
Connor,
come on,
Max Kepler, yo boy,
Abercrombie.
Yeah, he took.
Told you
he took PEDs to hit 208.
Yeah, those are the worst PEDs.
That's like when you pay a player in college and he stinks. Like,
what was he taking?
You did it wrong.
Was he taking those gummies? My daughter used to take the little gummies, like the Flintstones gummies or something before school.
Yeah.
What was he taking?
I don't remember what it was. It was a masker, wasn't it?
Max looked great. Yeah,
so
whatever he was taking, he might have looked great at the beach. But I don't know about
better in the last
month. He had 1 month of good baseball.
There you go. That's when he got popped.
Yeah.
Serious.
I just like that it came out afterwards.
The Splits make an interesting jump in August.
They took a very interesting jump. My God.
So did JT Realmuto's.
His was more sustained than Kepler's.
Yeah.
The last 2 months for JT were great.
I feel like it was like Kepler was taking fast acting to Acton pretty much. Like let me all this.
I got to get this above 200 if I want to work again.
All of a sudden he's hitting the
Is
ball
that
well.
still their slogan? That's a good one.
Does that still exist anymore?
Like seriously,
I gotta look that up.
That's very good.
While I do that, what do we got on the text line, Connor?
All right, so we have people checking in on this conversation about the Sirianni Hurts thing and what's going on with the perfect situation. So this texter says, Brian from Somerton, the whole perfect situation talk is nonsense. Which QB or coach wins championships without the so-called perfect situation? Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen have multiple MVPs, which has meant crap. They can put up all the pretty stats they want, but at the end of the day, all that matters is winning.
Yeah, look, I get it. Every winner's going to have good situations around them, but look at the way the Eagles' last 5 seasons have gone. Wild card exit, Super Bowl appearance with a very good coaching staff, wild card exit with a not good coaching staff, Super Bowl victory with a good coaching staff, wild card exit with one half of a good coaching staff with Vic Fangio.
There you go.
These up and down. And look, I will take the up, right? Like,
of course.
If you told me in a 10-year span, I get 5 Super Bowls, I got to deal with 5 annoying seasons. Sign me up, all right? But we're living in the here and now. I'm not living in, somebody came down from the heavens and told me that this is happening. I'm living in the here and now. And the reason why they're having these bad seasons or these drop-offs is because of bad decisions being made by the head coach and the organization, whoever you want to blame.
Yeah, it's obviously a group effort, but the head coach leads the way. He picks his staff. You see that's not unusual. That's why these coaches get fired a lot because they won't refuse their staff, right? That was the rumor down with John Harbaugh. Like he's like not going to fire all of his guys.
Now he's bringing them all over to New York.
Exactly. See how they work there with Jackson Dart. So, but it's interesting that sometimes you can have like the blame will get trickled down to like a front office. I think for the Eagles right now, it starts and stops with Nick Sirianni. I don't think there is that trickle down if you're thinking that, Howie Roseman should be blamed for hiring. You know what I mean? But in other cases, that might have been the suggestion. But I don't think that's the case here. It stops and starts with Sirianni.
I'm so excited to see what they can do because one thing is I do trust that Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman can fix things.
Right.
So it's like
because you've seen it.
Like I'm very optimistic that this thing's going to get fixed.
Well, that's why like Stefanski's such an interesting choice because he can fix things. He took the Browns.
Yeah.
He was a 2-time coach of the year, which meant he was terrible at least 2 of those years.
Yeah, it's true. By the way, Tinactin has a website, tinactin.com.
Is it still around?
Yep, athlete's foot and jock itch.
Tough actin' Tinactin.
Is that their still tagline?
It's tough actin' Tinactin. So tough it cures and prevents most athletes' foot.
Look how that earwormed us though and sticks with us.
It's a very good job. Whoever said that, well done.
Excellent work.
Marketing guy for Tinactin. Proud of you.
Was Madden a big tough actin' Tinactin guy?
Yeah.
That's right. He would have that. That's right. That's a good marriage right there too. Well done. Marketing for Tinactin. Just
Madden
maybe you've fallen off a little bit because we haven't heard of you, but it really.
Matt Cowper, he's our national salesperson. We'll get Tinactin on. All right, coming up next, does A.J. Brown play a part of the win now mode for Howie Roseman? We can win now and also build for the future. He was asked about the future of their top receiver yesterday. Hear Howie Roseman on A.J. Brown next here on 97.5 The Kevin Nagandi joins us coming up, not now, but at 9:05. We haven't spoken to Kevin in a while because, you're off on a Friday. I'm off on a Friday. Holidays kind of mess things up. So we're going to get back to sort of our normal schedule. Kevin Nagandi joining us at 9:05 to talk about sort of the state of Philadelphia sports, get his first thoughts on the Eagles' loss to the Niners, the vacant offensive coordinator position, and Bo Watch. We got to do Bo Watch as well when Kevin joins us coming up at 9:05. We watched the John Madden Tough Actin' Tinactin commercial during the commercial break. The guy's feet were literally on fire, and John Madden sprayed Tough Actin' Tinactin on the feet, and the fire went away. That's good marketing.
Yeah,
right?
listen, he knows what's what.
All right. So yesterday, Howie was obviously asked about A.J. Brown. It's going to be a major talking point this offseason. Adam Schefter right away with us on Wednesday said, yeah, I think it's heading that direction. He mentioned New England specifically as a team where he could see that trade happening. Jeremy Fowler joined Middays with Marks later that day on Wednesday saying, hey, I don't want to speak in absolutes, but it really feels like we're heading toward that direction. The cap hit would be crazy if they trade him before June 1st.
Right.
You could trade him after June 1st, and the dead cap hit gets split in between this season and next season. So there is a way to do it. You spoke with somebody?
No, I read the excellent piece by Jimmy Kempski.
That's right, yeah.
Jimmy Kempski wrote, which I consider to be the best piece I've read yet, about can you trade A.J. Brown?
What happens if you do this?
Because my mindset was you can't.
Right.
And after reading Jimmy Kempski's piece, I was completely incorrect to have ever said that. You absolutely can. The pain would be much worse in 2026, but there are actual benefits for the 2027 and 2028 cap.
Right, going down for the way the cap hit.
Significant benefits.
After June 1st.
Well, it's like the Wentz was kind of the same way, right?
So there's ways to do it but I on the air is what I'm saying is I on the air was like, you can't do it for next year. It'd be terrible. When you read Jimmy's piece, it's marvelous. And the detail of it, there's actually benefits for it, especially 2027 and 2028 cap, that it would actually benefit the Eagles cap when they have to sign these defensive players.
Yeah, which that's right around the corner.
Now that means hitting on a wide receiver in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Probably signing a veteran wide receiver because you're going to lose Dotson too. So going and getting a wide receiver in free agency that's like a veteran guy cheaper. So, hitting on a wide receiver in the draft. So there's things that have to work out too. Yeah. But Jimmy Kempski, I love Jimmy's work.
Yeah, he's great.
I think he does the best thing I've read on the entire A.J. Brown saga. It totally convinced me that I was wrong.
So
to have said it.
Yesterday, make sure you clip that. Yesterday, Howie Roseman was asked about A.J. Brown, and this was his answer.
We talked about this, I think, at the trade deadline last time I talked. It is hard to find great players in the NFL, and A.J. is a great player. I think from my perspective, that's what we're going out and looking for. Go out here in free agency in the draft is trying to find great players who love football, and he's that guy. So I think that would be my answer.
So obviously he's not going to say, yes, we're trading him, or no, we're not trading him. But it's interesting. Go ahead.
The Wentz thing, he said the same thing about.
Of course he does. Of course he did.
He said,
what do you want? He's not going to come out and be like, absolutely.
Because he's not Dave Dombrowski. Because he's not Dave Dombrowski.
Right.
He doesn't tell you what he wants to do. He doesn't telegraph his moves. But he has absolutely said the same things about Hassan Reddick. He said the same things about Carson Wentz. So don't believe anything that Howie Roseman had to say yesterday.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
Don't believe anything he had to say.
You can infer certain things.
Because he's smart.
But yeah.
By the way, he's smart.
Gonna
whether Howie believes
play
it or
those
not.
cards close to
Yes.
your chest.
Look,
he's a great GM.
And AJ is a tremendous player.
And he is. But
Yeah, I'm reticent. I mean, I get it, but
I'm tired.
It sucks.
I think it depends on the coordinator, honestly.
I want, ultimately, if you were to ask me,
He was
do you
back
want
on
A.J.
socials
Brown here with the Philadelphia Eagles? I would say yes.
Why wouldn't you?
But yeah, I know he goes on
over.
to
I said
Twitter.
he's back on his socials last night to do his subtle attacks on
I wouldn't say
whoever
it's
he's
subtle.
attacking. Well, who do you think that is about?
No.
By the way,
Kevin Patullo?
he reached.
I think it's Kevin Patullo because Kevin Patullo was obviously
Low-hanging
we know
fruit at
now
this point.
Kevin Patullo was obviously going to people in the business that he was friends with to say it's not my fault because people
Yeah,
have
because he wants
revealed
another
that.
job.
So But AJ can't. AJ can't help himself.
So AJ, in case you don't know, he retweeted 2 tweets of quotes.
Oh, it's amazing.
He's
so deep.
One he retweeted was, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy," which was Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah, that's a good quote.
And then,
so deep.
And then this one was not. We don't know who said this. Dr. Julie Garner just tweeted it. Quote, "Envy no one. For whatever you see, a price was paid."
Ooh.
It's deep, man.
I don't believe.
Actually, I like
I don't
that one.
believe that AJ's studying Marcus Aurelius. But who knows?
I want to see
No, he
his.
might.
He reads.
got a lot of
Oh
time
no,
on his
he
hands.
reads.
I want to
He's-
see his algorithm though. Like
Yeah.
that's popped up, and he's
It's
like,
probably
I got
a
it.
quotes. It's probably a quotes
Yes,
algorithm.
I think he goes to one. I think he has a quote site on his Instagram. That's what I believe.
Well, no, we can guarantee. You know why? What was the group text? Jalen,
Oh, yeah.
AJ, and Devin White.
Yeah.
It was the they would put quotes in every single
Yeah.
day, and then one guy didn't make the team, and that was Devin White.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he made the team. He
Yeah,
just
it just doesn't.
didn't dress. But yeah,
I
that
think
was,
it's a thing. I doubt.
wasn't it the accountable group chat? What do they call it? The
Oh,
accountability chat.
Accountability.
I don't think he's studying
What was it?
15th or
Something-
16th century philosophers.
No,
No.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I could see
you know
him
what? You know what?
reading it.
I was told by somebody very wise once. Someone really, really smart.
Was it Marcus Aurelius?
Said, do not trust people who tell you how much they read and show you how much they read. Because they're showing you. Like LeBron always has to show you the book.
I knew that was.
LeBron's
I
always
knew that
got
was coming.
to show you his look, I'm reading a book. And he's always reading the first page of the book. It's interesting.
LeBron taking strays.
Always
Why?
got to show you the book. And the book never is dog-eared.
I don't care.
It's always new. I said, just show me.
You know what? You know what, John?
Show me you're
You
smart.
should waste no more time arguing about what a good man
there
should
it
be.
is.
There we go.
There it
Just
is.
be one.
Exactly.
Just be one. Thank
That's
you.
Marcus Aurelius.
Confucius
That's
say.
a smart
I
man.
would say, I feel like Yoda has got to work his way in there. Doesn't
Marcus has a lot of quotes.
Well,
he? He was a philosopher.
He's one of the most
literally.
famous philosophers of
Like,
the 15th or
all he
16th
did,
century, probably.
He was an emperor, and
I
they were
can't
like,
get-
I wax poetic all the time.
I can never
rule
get my
things,
ear-
and I give quotes. That's what I
can never
do.
get my years right.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
either
he's
15th
in like,
or 16th century.
All right, coming up next.
it might be before that.
It might even. You think so?
We will
He was like,
speak
his
with
years were like,
Kevin
100.
Nagandi. We'll
I'm a
ask
Latin
Kevin his
guy.
favorite Marcus Aurelius quotes.
I remember Latin. That's all I remember.
I took 7 years of that.
Sister Celine.
Love it.
Kevin joins us coming up next. Let's talk about the state of the Eagles and Bo Watch, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Nick defining his role. I'm Connor Thomas, and Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni met with the media yesterday for their year-end presser after the team's season-ending loss to the Niners, and there was plenty to get into, including Nick Sirianni being asked about his involvement in the offense, his role as head coach of the football team, a question we've heard him asked many times here in Philadelphia.
As the head coach, you always have to be oversight of everything. Again, many different ways to do it. I think it's best for the football team when I'm the head football coach. So, we'll see where all that goes as far as that goes.
There was plenty to get into, so one of the things to focus on is where the next thing goes with the offensive coordinator. The hiring process currently going on for the Eagles. We'll keep you updated. Flyers fell to the Penguins 6-3, extending their losing streak to 5 games. They're off till tomorrow. Sixers host the Cavs tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And in shocking news, the Los Angeles Dodgers have added another star player. They went out and signed 4-time All-Star Kyle Tucker to a 4-year deal. Record-breaking contract for Kyle Tucker in L.A. Amy Fadul stays with us for the remainder of the show. This update is brought to you by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
the because one of our Instagram followers asks, DJ asks, who are championship quarterbacks or coaches that have not won with the perfect situation? And I answered to him, I've seen Tom Brady and I've seen Patrick Mahomes do it many times. I've seen Patrick Mahomes win a Super Bowl with the 16th best defense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Tom Brady win with Joe Bag of Donuts wide receivers. Like I've seen and like the 9th best defense, the 10th best defense. Now I'm talking about
two of the great.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, it doesn't have to be. Not everybody needs perfect situations.
I also am not always looking at it with Super Bowls. Like
Right.
wild card,
it doesn't have to be
Super Bowl,
yeah.
wild card,
Like if-
Super Bowl, wild card. Like
Yeah.
there needs to be consistency. They consistently make the playoffs
If we were
consistently.
Yeah.
if we were talking about the Eagles, if we came in the Monday after the NFC title game and they lost at Seattle,
I think it would have been like,
we
wow.
would come in. We'd be
Yeah.
sad.
But
we'd
it
be
was-
sad the season was over. But none of us would be saying, "What a freaking disgrace."
Well, after the regular season, you would have been like, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
They got it together enough to make it almost to the Super Bowl. Like that's
Correct.
I also would have been able to say I was proven wrong, but unfortunately I was not. And it's because the offense was a problem all season long, and it starts with the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And so is that more Jalen or is that more Nick? A lot of people, I think, are saying Nick. How many texts do you think, Connor, have we gotten where people are saying Jalen Hurts benefits from it more? Because, again, Monday morning when we did the show, emotion was obviously a big part of the show. A lot of people were angry. We were angry. There were people on our YouTube chat saying, trade Jalen Hurts this offseason, right? And I get it. Less than 24 hours after that kind of a loss where
week 18. They saw Tanner McKee and said, "Yep."
Well, yeah, that didn't help either. But a lot of people were ready to move on from Jalen Hurts, which is why we wanted to have these topics this week about taking logic out of it. How many people have said Hurts on the text line? Your guess?
Like 2 or 3, I'd say.
So mainly Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
That's the
listening.
right answer.
It's like 80-20 or maybe 90-10 Sirianni.
Okay.
That's the right answer.
I mean, listen to the press conference yesterday. You're sitting there going.
Are you surprised by those? I'm a little
I
surprised.
thought maybe a little bit.
I thought it'd be
80-20 would have been right.
Yeah, I would have thought
But,
like
yeah.
80-20 or something
90-10
like
seems
that.
seems a little heavy.
Yeah.
But I just think that there is a lot of logic behind it when you really do think about it.
Yeah.
It's obviously the head coach to benefit
I
from
also
having
think
that.
the Jalen detractors are loud.
Right.
Very, very loud. Like,
Yeah,
it's not
a vocal
it's-
minority.
You're not going out of on a limb complaining about Nick Sirianni right now. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Join the club, everybody. We hear
Right.
you.
But to be like it's Jalen and not Kevin Patullo, which like Jason Kelsey seemed like he was trying to do at times. There are some people that are saying stop blaming Patullo.
Well, I think that it goes back to what, the conversation you had on Tuesday and then Thursday. If you want to throw logic out the window, if you wanted to replace your head coach, there are viable options that have been proven to be successful, including your head coach. But, if you wanted to make a change, there's other options for you at the time. When you look at the other options at quarterback, I mean, unless you're making some blockbuster insane trade and some team is giving up their franchise quarterback, you're not replacing the production that you've gotten in the last 5 years from Jalen Hurts. That's where I think it's like, I get the people say like, oh yeah, maybe Jalen would be the most to benefit, but really?
Yeah. And who are you replacing him with? It is a Friday
Patrick
with
Mahomes,
Fadul.
apparently.
By the way, I do believe that a story of the offseason will be a big name quarterback potentially being available. And I do believe that quarterback will be Joe Burrow. I think there will be a story of him being not being shopped
I don't agree.
because he, I believe, was trying to orchestrate getting out.
I feel like they would have fired Zach Taylor if that were the case.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I mean, if I'm Joe Burrow, I'm trying to get out,
I think Joe
Yeah.
Burrow's trying to get out.
but I don't know that.
Then Zach Taylor's got 1 year left.
Yeah.
And then he
Could
gets
be.
fired.
Yeah,
could
I
be.
don't. Yeah, there were some tough press conferences to watch with Joe Burrow. That was a beatdown,
Yeah,
man. That was
it
really
was.
tough to
Nah,
watch.
he was seriously.
tough to watch.
It looked like a daytime drama.
All right, it's Fridays with Fadul. Amy Fadul with us every Tuesday and Friday, moving forward for 2 hours
She
from
gets her
8
own
to
tag
10.
like that. Isn't that great?
Fridays with it's Kincade Salciunas,
Like
but
Tuesdays
it's Fridays
with
with
Maury,
Fadul.
Fridays with
It's just a
Fadul.
little bit. Just a little
Exactly.
taste. It's an appetizer.
And joining us now from ESPN, one of our favorites,
Yes.
the great Kevin Nagandi joins the show. Kevin, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How we doing?
Still picking up the pieces.
Yeah.
You know, the Eagles lost, of course, because of the offense on Sunday, and to nobody's surprise, less than 48 hours, Kevin Patullo was fired, even though there are people that are still saying don't blame Kevin Patullo. So, you know what, Kevin, before I even ask you a question, floor's yours, Kev. Let it out. Let the people hear your frustration, your thoughts on the way the Philadelphia Eagles season came to an end.
I just think that I come back to I feel like Kevin Patullo was part of the process. He's a victim of circumstance, right? Clearly, they needed to bring in another OC in. They needed to bring in an experienced play caller who understands. Now, if you go back, Kellen Moore ran Nick Sirianni's offense. He was an experienced play caller. And you saw it play out here where's the creativity? They never played 4 quarters. Don't give me the Raiders game. Don't give me the second Giants game. The offense never played 4 quarters all season long. Every single Sunday was excruciating because you would see the talent on the field. Now, their number one strength was never right all season. That was the offensive line. And then it had a domino effect. But the thing that drove me crazy was you're running Nick Sirianni's offense. Nick Sirianni's supposed to be this offensive-minded guy. And he talked about it multiple times late in the season that he would be more involved. It never changed. There was no rhythm with this offense. And as a coach and a coaching staff, you have to make adjustments. You have to make your players better, and you have to find mismatches. The Eagles never took advantage of mismatches, especially that 49ers game where they're beat up defensively. And when you look at where the Niners were with their linebackers and understanding that, hey, where's the mismatch? They never, ever took advantage of any mismatches on the field. The only time that really stood out where they were like, all right, win the one-on-one was the Rams game where they needed A.J. Brown to bail them out. And they were relying so much on the talent of the team instead of, hey, schematic advantage, which we saw with Kyle Shanahan. You lose your number one target, tight end, and you still win the game because at the end of the game, you're like, all right, I've got Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to win this schematic advantage because I understand my scheme. I'm comfortable with my pieces. No matter who they are, I'm going to be a better coach than you with the chess pieces. And every single weekend, we saw this offense, no matter who was on the other side, struggle to put it together. Didn't understand the mismatches, didn't take advantage of those mismatches, and I think that was the most frustrating part. And it begins with Nick Sirianni. I mean, his fingerprints are all over this. And the lack of adjustments, how many hitch routes can we see? How many times can we see Calcaterra on the field blocking when he's not a blocking tight end? And then how many times can we see, hey, let's just run the same play. It's second and long. We're going to run the football. Let's play, keep away. Let's not make turnovers. Instead of, hey, let's be a little aggressive. Let's understand that our defense is championship caliber. And I thought they leaned way too much on the thought process that our defense is going to save us in every single game. And it backfired in the end.
Kevin, I can't believe when yesterday I sort of overlapped the rosters of the two teams. I don't think there was 5 or 6 guys in the 49ers that would have started on the Eagles. Maybe on either side of the ball. The Eagles, that is one of the most embarrassing losses that I can remember. And I don't know what faith to believe of what Nick Sirianni, now that he's not going to control the offense, what is he actually going to do moving forward?
So I think that was the big question, John, literally 2 years ago, right? It was the big question 2 years ago. Remember that long week where we didn't know what Nick's hanging around after the 10-1 collapse. We don't know if he's going to be the head coach. And then Howie came out and this Eagles front office said, hey, he will be the CEO of vibes, right? He's the thing that got me was
Garrett
if you're the
Stubbs.
CEO and you're not going to be in the room with a defensive coordinator, you're not going to be in the room with the offensive coordinator, what do you do? What separates you as a head coach from other head coaches around the NFL? And I thought Nick earned the idea after what, that Super Bowl run looked like. He earned the idea of having more of a say. You can't give him any more say anymore. I mean, this is now something we've seen consistently. where when he has control of the offense and you give it to a play caller that has no experience, they don't know what to do. There's no rhythm. And by the way, some of the players have to be accountable. I totally understand that. When you look at the film, you have to hold them accountable as well. But to me, coaching plays the bigger role here because they never got it fixed. This is not just one game. This is not just 1 month. They talked about it. We're going to work on it. We're going to work on it. We're doing things better. Oh, what about the turnover battle? Well, guess what? The 49ers lost their turnover battle, but they had creativity with their offense, and Kyle Shanahan separated himself, no matter what. And Robert Saleh, how about Robert Saleh earlier this week saying, I knew what they were doing on fourth down because I saw that they did something similar in 2023. Where is the creativity? Let's just, draw something up, 4 guys go down the field and turn around.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to win the battle, no matter what. Especially against the team coached by Robert Saleh, that defensive unit. And you're 100% right, John. When you look at the roster, that's a credit to Howie Roseman. Hitting after draft pick after draft pick after draft pick, right? The problem is that if you still have these guys on film doing the same things over and over and over again, smart coaches adjust and they find mismatches. And that's what the 49ers did.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Saleh doesn't have to go back to 2023 on that play. He could go back to 5 seconds before that. They'd run the same. They'd run the same exact thing. But Kevin, you bring up such a good point about the adjustments, and I think that when you're looking at from where Sirianni was from 2023 to 2024 when he first had the CEO, I'm going to check in, and he checked in with Kellen Moore, and I'm sure Kellen Moore would look over his shoulder and be like, "I'm good, thanks. Go ahead and just go check on somebody else." Now, do you think that he can have that same mindset? Because he has to adjust. It did not work at all. And when we listened to what he said yesterday, Sirianni said yesterday, it seems like he's still trying to make excuses and apologies for how the season went. Well, at this point, we had to make this call. You could have made the call on taking the play calling duties away from Kevin Patullo in week 4, week 6, week 10, week 12, and he didn't. And I'm just wondering, he seemed to learn the lesson in 2023 into 2024. You just wonder if he is able to make that adjustment personally himself again.
Amy, I actually think he had no choice when that announcement was made 2 years ago where it was like, hey, we're just going to have him oversee everything. Mm-hmm. I think also you get a certain type of street cred when you win the Super Bowl the way you win the Super Bowl and how the Eagles went through everything in 2024 and winning the Super Bowl in 2025. The thing that gets me the most about the whole Nick Sirianni thing and the role that he has with this team, if he's a player's coach and he makes a connection, right, I don't see these guys playing for him. I mean, just look at the moment running down the sideline with A.J. Brown. A.J. was dropping little tidbits all season long about where the offense was, and he wasn't shy about it, right? And then he went into shutdown mode after having a conversation with the owner, Jeffrey Lurie, and everybody noted that, and that happened, and then all of a sudden he just stopped talking to the media. Mm-hmm. But his play was still like, how many times can I just run down the field and have cardio and come back, and the frustration was building up, right? The one thing that I just can't get over is we felt the same vibes, man, in 2023. We felt them this year. Mm-hmm. Where the team just looked like they were like, we're just going through the motions. And if Nick is one of those emotional guys that's going to talk the talk after a win, the embarrassing thing that we saw post-game against the Bills, you've got to be there when the team's falling apart or the team is not emotionally connected, right? And it just didn't feel like the body language. They could say all the things that they say post-game and how much they love Nick and all that stuff. But the body language, there's just something that wasn't right all season, and you felt it, that there was no real connection. And I'll add one other thing. The Kellen Moore conversation that we've all seen, too. Let's not forget, too, Nick was on thin ice going into that bye week, remember?
Absolutely.
Because they were running his offense, and Kellen was running his offense until the offensive line said, the strength is us. Put it on us, and let's not forget we have Saquon Barkley. And let's not forget what Howie Roseman did, and he brought in one of the best running backs in the league. Let's run the football, and that opened up everything else. The obsession that Nick has in this offense about throwing, okay, I get it. You don't have a quarterback that's primarily a thrower. You have a guy that does both things, a dynamic quarterback that can run, and that opens up the pass. And I was waiting for Jalen to have 8 or 9, runs in this game, and we just never saw dynamic runs just to keep things honest.
Exactly.
I couldn't believe that we didn't see anything like that, and maybe that's a disconnect with the quarterback currently, with the OC or the former OC, as well as the head coach in this offense. They've just got to get a guy that I think the quarterback has to trust. And the quarterback understands that he's not shy about hard coaching. Nick Saban was his head coach. He's the son of a an offensive-minded coach in high school. He's not shy about it. He's just got to respect the coach and the offense, and he's going to listen. I think Jalen Hurts takes hard coaching. I really do.
Agreed.
And I just don't think there was a mutual respect for the OC all season long, and we saw that play out.
Man, I could tell you you don't have much to say
wish
about
you had an opinion.
No, it's so good. That's such a good point, though, especially because we all saw the timeout before 4th and 11. The body language.
Yeah,
Kevin said it. The body language all season.
Season was over.
Yeah, there was nuggets you saw.
Season was over. That timeout just extended 30 seconds. All right, Kevin, all week long we have been airing episodes here on Kincade and Salciunas of Bo Watch. And so, Kevin, I gotta ask
Kevin
you.
watched Baywatch.
Are you like me?
I know that.
Where your excitement and your hope and your sanity hinges on the Phillies signing Bo Bichette?
No, I'm nothing like you.
Why?
I have some concerns about Bo Bichette just because of the long term down the road. The Red Sox are going to be in the mix after losing Bregman. So how do you get a guy? You've got to add extra years, right? If you look at Bo Bichette defensively, the numbers are not good. They're not kind. They are trending downwards. And I understand we have the window here, but when you look at the long-term contracts that they have to some of these other guys and the age of, what these guys are going to look like, especially if you put Bo at third base and what the left side looks like. And Trey has some flaws defensively. Mm-hmm. And Bo is, if you look at the numbers, if you break down the defensive numbers, he is trending downwards. Now, he provides pop. He provides probably a 3-year window of pop that this team needs, right, offensively. I just look at big picture. It's not that much of a slam dunk, I think, as of right now, as a lot of people are playing it out to be. I don't think it's one of those savior signings. It's an excitement signing. I also am the type of person, too, to tell you that I'm not going to really be thrilled if they try to run it back either.
No, exactly.
So, we're caught in a rock and a hard place, right? So this is a little bit frustrating on where this team is, especially when you see what the Dodgers have done, especially overnight, and how they continue to add and get the best reliever on the market and the best hitter on the market this offseason. It's frustrating, but how do we feel about running it back? I don't know, because the Mets are gonna have to get in the Bellinger sweepstakes now because they've got to save face. And are you now bidding against the Red Sox and the Blue Jays for Bo Bichette, and then spending a little bit more money down the road that will keep you out of contention or tweaking down the road? That's where I come into question here on what they're going to do.
All right. Well, we'll be doing daily episodes of Bo Watch, so don't you worry.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I dropped a bucket of cold water on the conversation.
Not at all.
You just dropped it all. You just dropped it on me and Amy.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Connor and John are with you, Kevin.
Connor and I are very skeptical.
Now, wait. Now, I asked this question to Connor and John because you guys, Amy and Andrew, you guys obviously see the idea that this could be an answer. Okay, what are the options then, Connor and John, if they don't? Running it back? Because I don't want to run it back either. I don't want to run it back.
If they offered 3 years to JT Realmuto, I already think they're punch drunk. I already think they don't have a clue. They negotiate publicly. They let the world know the players they don't like and then understand why they can't trade them. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. I think Dave Dombrowski's running his team on Facebook Marketplace. I think it's embarrassing. think it's absolutely embarrassing. Someone's got to tell Pop-Up that this isn't how you play cards. You hide your cards close to your
well,
vest.
that's not what we do. When
we put it all out there.
Yeah. Kevin, listen, man, we appreciate the time.
But real quick, do you feel like Dombrowski is also caught in a little position here where he's being told by the owner, "I want to win now, but you can only spend a certain amount of money, and that's it, no matter what." And he's like, "What am I going to do?
This is a bet
I'm
he
in a
made.
position."
This is a bet he made with the contracts he signed. He spent the owner's
but I think
money
Kevin's
on
point
these
is like there are no other options. I get like people don't want to have JT have a 3-year contract. Okay, if you don't want to sign him, who is your catcher?
I don't think other people are bidding for JT.
But don't you think, guys, that some of these deals also are heavily influenced by Bryce Harper and what Bryce likes and what he wants to do?
Yep.
And he's earned that, by the way. He's earned that.
See, that's where we part
He's
ways.
earned it.
That's where
I
we
think
part
he has.
ways.
Kevin, we appreciate the time,
Thanks,
brother.
You're the best, Kevin.
We'll talk
Thanks,
to you next
Kev.
week.
All right, fellas.
Take care,
and
buddy.
Amy. Take care.
There he is,
It's all
Kevin
inclusive.
Nagandi. All right, coming up next, an update on A.J. Brown. Also, John mentioned the name earlier. There is a candidate for the offensive coordinator position. We will mention that and pick segment as we enter the divisional round of the playoffs. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Howie and Nick discussed the season. I'm Connor Thomas, and Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni met with the media yesterday, their year-end presser for the Birds. There was a lot to get into, including Howie Roseman's evaluation of how this season went. Division winners, playoff appearance, not good enough.
If it doesn't end with confetti falling on our head, I don't feel like it's good enough. And I know that we're not going to win the Super Bowl every year, but I believe we can, and I go into every offseason thinking we're going to do whatever it takes to win a Super Bowl, and when we fall short, I look to improve.
Next piece of the puzzle for the Birds is finding their next offensive coordinator. We'll keep you updated as that coaching search continues. Flyers fell to the Penguins 6-3. Their losing streak's now at 5 games. They're off tonight. Sixers host the Cavs tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. Dodgers making big news in baseball, signing 4-time All-Star Kyle Tucker to a 4-year deal. The defending champs get even better. I'm Connor Thomas for your home at the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
is back from the break. I wonder what they're going to get into.
The final hour of Kincade and Salciunas is presented to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to Bagster.com.
All right, we'll get to our pick segment coming up in a moment. And I need you to tell the people more about Charlie Weiss Jr., a name that popped up yesterday. But just a quick update on AJ, because we talked about the Marcus Aurelius quotes that he was retweeting. Anyone want to take a guess?
No, not another one. What?
Ooh, Confucius say?
He once again deleted his account.
He deleted the whole account?
There we go
again. Yeah, he does.
He's
it's the same old, same old. Let me go on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Post something.
Let me light a Molotov cocktail.
And then
throw
people are going to say, "What are you doing?"
And then he's going to say, "The media just keeps doing
I feel like
this."
he has a really good chance to lean into this and really make it like hilarious and just start posting random stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I'd really lean into it. I just have like
and have some fun with
no
it.
picture context.
Fletcher Cox during the whole.
Yes.
He would tweet the eyeball emojis.
It was so great.
And everyone would go,
"What is it?
What is it?" And then it was nothing.
Yeah,
it was just him. It was just him.
Just messing
busting
with
everybody's.
it.
You know
I think
what?
that's hilarious.
Want to tell everybody too tomorrow night. Jackie and Nick Coco, listeners of ours, friends of ours from the show, will be out tomorrow night celebrity bartending at Gloria Sports Bar and Grill in Warrenton, Pennsylvania, as a fundraiser for Fight Night. It's ALS Fight Night. And they have guest bartenders, and Jackie and Nick will be there. It'll be from 8 to 12, so 8 o'clock till midnight. Live DJ, there's Beat the Bartender contest, raffles, drink specials, all benefiting ALS research and everything like that. So get in there, be as generous as you can be, and we hope that it is a very, very successful event. So good luck with that, Jackie and Nick.
All right.
Well done.
That sounds good. I'm happy for both of them.
Hopefully they have a big one.
All right. Tell us about Charlie Weiss Jr., please.
Charlie Weiss Jr. will be a name that within 2 years everybody is talking about. He's got the pedigree. He has the background. He was going to be, if he's not a NFL offense coordinator this time around, if he doesn't end up, if the Eagles don't get one of the top names, don't get Mike McDaniel, don't get one of those. Charlie Weiss Jr., they are doing their due diligence on Charlie Weiss Jr. And the LSU press, where he's going to be the offensive coordinator, does he not end up here as a, third choice or whatever it would be? Charlie Weiss Jr. is a rising star in college football.
So they've been coaching since he was in high school.
Exactly.
That's wild.
He is a brilliant young man in college circles. Everybody that I know in the SEC says this guy's going to he's going to be a star. So if they wanted to go outside the box, wanted to go young, innovative, wanted to go sort of like a young Shanahan, McVay-ish
a Cliff
type
Kingsbury
of thing,
from a couple of years ago.
this is the kind of guy you'd go after. He's not ready to be any kind of head coach.
Right.
He's not going to be a head coach in 2 years. So you could bring a guy in. The Eagles are
Wait, you're saying you could have somebody and you could have him there for more than 1 year?
Correct.
What?
Now, the thing is, the Eagles are kicking tires because the LSU press knows it. He's going to be the offensive coordinator for the LSU Bayou Bengals. So he's going to be working there. If he doesn't become an Eagle, I believe he would be like the third or fourth choice, though. It's after you get past Mike McDaniel, you get past Stefanski's going to be a head coach.
You get past guys that are proven as
Right.
far as what they can do and how you know that they run an NFL offense. Doesn't mean that Charlie Weiss Jr. doesn't know how to run it.
No, exactly.
Old Maid absolutely ran that type of style. That's why Kiffin, was so successful there. But yeah,
it is going to be great.
All right.
I'm looking forward to it.
Hit us with the football music, Connor. As we do our pick segment, another week, this time divisional round of the playoffs, so not as many games to choose from. Johnny, give us the update.
Okay, the update of the numbers. Thanks to Bet Parks. We appreciate Bet Parks. Get in on the Bet Parks app. I have 61% against the spread on the season, 46-30. Andrew has climbed into second place at 53% at 40-36, highest watermark for the year on you.
Thank you.
And Connor is at 37-39 at 49%. My magic number to eliminate Connor is 2.
Wow.
My magic number to eliminate Andrew and win the championship is 5.
Okay.
And Andrew, 4 store yours because everybody was 3-1 last week. And so
like a 3-week run?
You're 3-week running, making the
about
picks
that?
because
Way to
everybody
go.
was 3-1.
All right. Well, I've mentioned in my reads over the week, I like Seattle to cover the 7 against San Francisco. I don't think there's as much incompetency with Seattle like there was here in Philadelphia. I also don't see Brock Purdy doing it with a whole game of no George Kittle against that Seattle defense. So I like Seattle to cover the 7, and I like the Rams to cover the 3.5 against the Bears. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I've been talking about the Rams being the team that scares me the most. If the Eagles were to play them, the Eagles are obviously not going to play them, so I'll take the Rams. Under 40.5 is a low number, but that Houston-New England game, New England, if you remember, the talk about their team this year has been, well, look at the schedule they've played. They played a decent Chargers defense. They only scored 16 points, but New England's got a good defense. They held the Chargers to just 3. C.J. Stroud tried to lose against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but their defense is really good as well.
Very good.
I don't see C.J. Stroud turn the ball over 4 times and still scoring 30 points. So I like the under 40.5 in that contest. And then lastly, a player prop for you. Josh Allen, in order to win, has to be Superman. His over-under in rushing yards is just 36.5. I will take the over for that against the Denver Broncos.
All right, that's an interesting number. Mm-hmm. That's a really interesting number. Okay, we have one in common. And you went along with my thought. I love it's going to be a weekend. Last weekend I told you I picked 3 underdogs last week. All 3 hit. I went with 4 unders this week.
Ooh.
I like the under in every game. I'll take
those all 4 picks?
Yes.
Really?
Broncos,
Under.
Broncos, Bills, under 45.5. 49ers, Seahawks, under 44.5. Patriots, Texans, like Andrew, under 40.5. Rams, Bears, under 48.5. That is going to be played in horrible conditions.
Right.
49ers, Seahawks is going to be played in some ugly conditions. Patriots, Texans, you just have 2 ugly offenses. Yeah. I love the unders this weekend. I'm feeling really good about all of those. And I like Broncos, Bills. I think Denver at home. I don't think that's going to be a wildly scoring game. So I'm going with 4 unders, which is outrageous.
So you're anti when in doubt, bet the over. How about
I'm going
that?
4 unders. So, Connor?
Makes it easy to remember your picks.
Yeah, it does.
All right, I'm going to go with Seattle -7 versus the Niners. They're going to cover that. That's a hatred pick. I don't care. I want the Niners out. So, Seattle -7, but I agree with what Andrew said about that game. I'm going to go against you, though, Andy, in the Chicago-LA game. Give me the Bears +3.5. I think last week was a proof-of-concept playoff game for Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. And the Rams are good, but they've been a weird team lately with the amount of points they're giving up.
33 a game.
Yeah.
Last 4 teams that played their starters.
I'm going to ride Josh Allen and the Bills as far as they'll take me. I'll take Buffalo +1.5 on the road at Denver. I mean, they've got the most playoff experience of any team.
I thought you were a believer.
I am a believer.
Not really.
Are you shifting your Bo Leaf to Bo Bichette?
Stop.
Is that what it is?
No.
Oh, he's a hedger.
You
He's
can believe in
shifting.
Bo Nix and acknowledge that Josh Allen is the better quarterback in this matchup.
Okay.
I'm taking the Bills because they've got Superman.
He usually
And
trashes Josh
Yeah.
Allen.
I know. Yeah, Josh Allen
Josh
don't want
Allen's not that
anything.
good.
I don't
He's never won
understand.
anything.
I don't know who
Stinks.
you are, Connor, anymore.
I think he's good. He always loses to Mahomes. All right, we'll round out with Pats Texans under. I'm on that with you guys, so we all need that one.
Wow, everybody went under in the Patriots Texans. Amy, you have anything
those are 2 bad offenses.
Any of those ones? I know you're not a
Like the
big better
Texans
because you're
didn't-
not allowed to do betting, but
I'm not? Oh,
I didn't know.
I'll tell my
if you-
FanDuel account.
Oh, I didn't know. No. Is there any that you like? I didn't know if on the air you were.
No, I like the Josh Allen rushing yards. I thought that stuck out, 36, and I was like, wait, what?
36.5. That doesn't
Come on.
sound
By
like
the way,
a lot.
has not hit a lot this year.
He's banged up right now,
He's
though.
banged up.
Yeah,
30
but like it's playoff time.
33 against Jacksonville last week, 30 against Baltimore, 25 against Miami, 7 against Carolina, 19 against Kansas City. A lot of games where this season the under would have hit. I just know that team has no receivers. They don't.
No.
Are you making excuses for him? Yes. Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman,
Keon Coleman can barely
Shavers.
get on the field.
Because they don't want him on the field.
Exactly.
They don't like him.
He's a DNP.
And so, and Gabe Davis,
Yeah,
he's
it's
going to
like
have
a
to put
bunch
the
of
team.
yahoos.
He's going to put the team on his back.
Yeah, like he does. Yeah,
And
I
if
like
he
that
doesn't,
one.
then it's a pick.
And the
that doesn't
Texans,
hit.
that's an under because come on. They didn't score 30 points. Their defense did.
And you know they're going to
Exactly.
turn it over 3 times.
Yeah. All right. You have one last chance to text in your questions for Ask Me Anything. We do that next. Any questions you have for Amy Fadula, YouTube, send some in as well. I'll check the YouTube chat. Connor's got the text line. I'll have the YouTube chat. Hashtag Ask Me Anything or however you want to text it, and just do that at 610-632-0975. And we'll have those next here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Amazing.
Amy with a shiv.
Anyways, yeah, Amy
Which is
with a
still one
shiv.
of my. It's my favorite Amy moment ever with us.
You had to bring up
The shiv is
You
no.
had
It's
to bring up 92.
People love
Had to
it.
bring up 1992.
All right.
Not the same.
Connor, go ahead. We got some on the text line. I got one on. I got somebody DM me one too. So go ahead.
All right, so we have a check-in here from Steve who wants to know, Amy, what do you think the Sixers are trying to do at the trade deadline?
Hey, I think they're trying to keep everybody healthy. That's what the Sixers are trying to do. I don't know. They have a plethora of riches right now at the guard position, which is kind of strange. I think that if they make a move, if I was the Sixers, I might look for a little extra wing support. I think they've got some dynamic wings. I think Dominic Barlow has been a great player for them. Hopefully he's fine, is able to go tonight. We know, obviously, the MRI was negative when he fell the other night. But for me, just the way that the East is stacked up, I think you need just a little bit more scoring at the power forward, small forward at the 3-4 position. I think they've got some, but I think some of the guys, you don't know where Kelly Oubre's at as far as getting there, and you have some extra guards. So I would think that would be something. I don't know that they would need to do anything. I mean, fully healthy, the team's actually quite good.
Now, you think scoring when you think wing? Because I saw perimeter defense, and maybe it's the recency with the Cleveland game they just played, but I feel like they could use another guy out there to play D.
We'll see tonight. Get a chance with Cleveland again.
Well, not having Barlow really hurt them. So, I mean, he only played 8 minutes, and he wasn't available. So that he is that type of athletic wing type of defender, and he doesn't, though fine offensively, you're not asking him to give you 15 points. But I feel like it would be nice to have a guy that can come off the bench and give you 15 points.
All right. What else we got?
All right. We also have a check-in here from Slick in Chicago who asks Amy, why hasn't Frank Reich been mentioned all that much as an offensive coordinator candidate?
That's a great question. Frank Reich obviously is a name that's always popular out there. You wonder how much interest Frank Reich has in getting back into the game. I don't know that he would be that. Is this a guy that's like, hey, I'm itching to get back in? I feel like he was in a fill-in role.
I'm like Ricky Batalico on this, Brothers in Arms. Enough Back to the Future stuff. Yeah. That's yesteryear. Let's go. Let's turn the page to modern foottle. Can we get to something modern?
I think the thing is,
this city loves nostalgia.
Well, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, why don't you just go for somebody else we've had before? But I feel like you'd like to have some consistency instead of a guy that's, either one, a rehash, or two, looking to have a head coaching job.
All right. Ronaldo DM me.
The soccer player?
Yes.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Really?
What was your welcome to Philly moment? Because you obviously you're not born here. You have been indoctrinated into the Philadelphia scene, but I mean, you worked your way up to this point. So what was your welcome to Philly moment?
So I started here January 5th, 2009.
Okay.
And the Eagles they played the Giants that week. That was the wild card, right?
Okay.
So I did a couple stories. I was in the locker room, all usual stuff for me. Obviously I was working in Baltimore, so I covered locker rooms obviously for years. But my welcome to Philadelphia moment, they said, we've got this story for you. You're going to ride up on this bus called the Scotty Express, tailgate bus, which is a converted school bus, short bus. And you're going to meet them in the Northeast at 5:30 in the morning. You're going to ride up. And everybody on the bus, I think 2 people had tickets. The other 30 people on the bus, no one had tickets.
Okay.
So we went up to the Meadowlands. So we're on this exit up there. There was a Dunkin' Donuts and an Exxon. And people are ripping shots of Jaeger chased by coffee at 5:30 in the morning. And I thought, wow, this is impressive. And it was like, I'm in it. Like, let's go.
That's awesome.
And then we rode this. The bus could only go, I think, 50. So we were cruising up 95, doing 50. And the people are just partying. I'm doing the interviews.
I've never heard this story.
That was like a moment of I am in.
Can you grab that video anyway?
I'm sure we could find it somewhere in the archives. It was great.
Funny.
I wasn't ripping shots. I was just like, this is amazing.
Because you're a professional.
Well, yeah, I had to do the story. And then it was remarkable
Andrew and
to me.
Connor would have been ripping shots.
It was remarkable to me. It was me, and Dave Didinger was my photographer. For those that's Ray's son. He's a great videographer. Does a lot of NBA
Dave
and NFL.
Ripping shots?
No, Dave was shooting it.
He was being good.
And we had a guy following us in our truck so we could get back, because those folks were staying, and we were obviously taking the trip back. But that was absolutely, when you're in the Northeast, right off the exit, and you can hear 95 whipping by, and people are ripping shots of Jaeger outside the Dunkin' Donuts. Was amazing.
That's incredible.
And chased by coffee, because you were drunk, but you needed to be alert because it was 5:30.
All right. Well, thank you to Ronaldo and our 2 texters. That's
one of my
tremendous. We'll do this every Friday. Fridays with Fadul. That's great.
That was absolutely. I think there was some trepidation on Comcast Sports at the time. They're like, "Are you really? This girl just got here."
Well, just throw her in.
She's
Why
in,
not?
baby. She's in. She's all in now.
Yeah.
She's all in now.
Everybody have a
were
great
so shy.
weekend. Amy,
like,
you're the
"What's
best. We appreciate you being a
Good
part
stuff.
of the show.
Thanks, guys.
If you don't watch the show normally on YouTube, watch Middays with Marks. You'll only be able to see his face. You won't be able to see anything else. That's all I'll say. Talk to you Monday morning here on The Fanatic.